What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 30 of the Coffee Club podcast. We're back all here in the studio today, which is absolutely huge. Ollie got back how many days ago?
Yesterday.
No, was it?
No, was not. 2 days ago.
No way.
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
No, my head is like.
It's Tuesday today, and you go back on Sunday. So yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, 2 days ago. I kind of blended one day into one.
It was all just a blur.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're very happy to have him back. Be back together to film the pod today.
The boys.
So much better. And we got some amazing guests on today. We have New Generation. They're in town doing some cool stuff with the OAC, which hopefully you guys will get to see soon. But we have Ben Crawford and Matt Wisner. Do you guys want to interview yourselves? I mean, that would, if you guys could interview yourselves, that would make our jobs easier.
Do you want to do all the work?
That'd make our life easy.
That would be. But no, sorry. Introduce yourselves, please.
What's up? My name's Ben Crawford.
And I like to fuck.
One third, I guess, or I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts at New Generation, but you know, definitely a part of it. And I'm here with
Matt Wisner. Yeah, I'm also a part of it, and yeah, we've been doing it together for like a year.
Yeah.
Living in Eugene together at the moment. Not together.
But like,
it's kind of like we live together.
Yeah.
We're moving in together.
It's kind of a big deal.
If you're listening.
Yeah.
Big news. You heard it here first, guys.
That
It's
is
a
hot
big
off the
step.
press.
Big
But
step for New
you
Generation.
guys obviously were both students at Oregon, which a pretty cool place for running. I've heard, Matt, Matt, obviously you ran on the team. You still race? I saw you pace like a week ago.
Yeah.
How's the running going?
Yeah, it's good. I ran at Duke first, and then just ran at Oregon for a year. And then, I finished school in December, but I'm still, training with my teammates and stuff. And,
Nice.
I have a pretty, I'm trying to work out the schedule for outdoor now, but raced a handful of times indoors and PR'd in a couple events.
Hell yeah. What's your 800 PB, just so everyone knows?
I've run 147.
It's pretty
A
quick.
couple months ago.
Carlos, what's your 800 PB?
146.
oh,
Wait, is it actually?
0.9.
0.7.
All right.
track 800.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say that. I thought it was the road 800.
Yeah.
What did you? He
Before
ran
super spikes too.
before Super
Pre
Spikes.
Super Spikes,
All right, that's pretty huge. So
That's legit.
Mine was
Yeah.
barefoot.
Toe shoes.
with toe spaces in.
spaces.
Well, that's still faster PR 800 than the three of us on this table. So
Really?
faster
4 of
than
us.
4 of us. Oh yeah.
Wait, didn't you run that the day after pacing that mile?
Yeah.
Carlos, what'd you do the day before 800, bro?
Fucking went to McDonald's.
that's maybe more impressive.
Morning of the race.
Oh, you went morning of.
I love this dick measuring contest. It's like
Straight in.
McDonald's. Yeah, well, I ate McDonald's and I was barefoot.
Yeah, and Ben, you obviously also went to Oregon.
Yeah.
I know you. I don't know. You used to work.
I worked. Yeah, I did. I had done photo and video stuff in high school. And then went to Oregon just to be a student. I kind of had the idea that I wanted to work for the team, but I kind of had to still put myself out there. So I traveled to a lot of the meets still my freshman year. And obviously, it's fortunate that there's a lot of home meets at Oregon, and it's a pretty legit track. So yeah, just taking pictures there. And then I got to know the media person at U of O and was like a creative intern for, I want to say, 2.5 years. And then we did all the Boulder summer videos during the pandemic, and then I got fired after
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Biggest blessing in disguise
Went
ever.
up in flames.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I did that. I was traveled and all that stuff with the team for 2 years. I was just hyped because they have at U of O they have a special athlete backpack that you can only get, I guess, if you're an athlete. But I got one and I was just
That's a big deal.
and I was walking and I was just what sport do they think I'm gonna do? I can't say I'm a runner.
Yeah. Golf maybe.
And then
What would you
looking
go with?
back, I'm just what the fuck did I?
Yeah.
It's super cringe. You
Yeah.
trying to avoid the backpack.
Yeah.
It's like
I just need my
obnoxious
Jans. I just need my Jan sport.
Dude, the high school kids, man, it's all about the backpacks.
Yeah.
I have one kid who messages me. Shout out Angus, I think his name is, and he
Angus
was
Cloud.
no, and he
That's
was
big time.
he was talking about Arcadia, and only his biggest reason for wanting to qualify was so he could go get the backpack there, and then he
Yeah.
got it, and it was
Yeah.
made
First
his
time I
day.
ever heard of Jordy. Arcadia.
Yeah, dude,
I
don't
didn't
know if
add
many
it-
people
I
know
didn't
that he
add it
raced
up,
Arcadia.
I just remember people were oh yeah, there's this New Zealand guy from New Zealand in the field, yada yada, and then years down the line, probably during your time at NAU, I was just wait, was That guy.
I don't publicize that. I didn't even know what Arcadia was. When
But
I,
How'd you end
and
up
you're
there?
right, and you're
That's
right.
the
know.
question.
I was just
It's a bit
saying,
far away from New
That's a good
Zealand.
question.
It's a bit far away from New Zealand. You didn't go to school.
It's just a
America,
meet on the
did you?
schedule.
it's a great question. Do you really want to know?
I mean, I'm curious now. If it's a short answer, it's a short answer. But
I was in California with my brother. He was like running a couple of races. I was like here hanging out. Ran like a race at Mount Sag, I think.
Okay.
Ran Acadia. Went to NAU to do a visit.
Yeah.
Like mostly just to go see the Grand Canyon. Like, oh, this is a free trip to the Grand Canyon. This is freaking sweet. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go here.
Do you have to get
That's the
into
short
Arcadia?
version. I don't know how Arcadia.
I think
works.
you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
It's like a
It's
pretty
like a big
like
Yeah.
selection.
It's
selected
very
process.
competitive. No,
Is
it's
it like
literally
literally
the
New Zealander
biggest
that
one.
like, oh, we'll throw
Well, you
him in
probably had a
there?
fast time.
I mean, yeah,
going into
you're
it.
obviously good in high school because you,
Yeah. So
you got getting recruited. But I was curious, is like because Arcadia.
I don't know
seems
who.
like,
yeah.
Did you get the backpack? That's the other
Yeah.
question.
Dude, I didn't know. I didn't get the backpack.
probably didn't
Oh,
even pick it up.
you
It's
used to
probably there.
Yeah, people didn't realize he's like, yeah, they don't do this in New Zealand. They don't give out backpacks.
They probably saw it like when I checked in. It was like a foreigner, like not giving him a
No, he
backpack.
doesn't
No,
understand
wasted
it.
one.
Give it to the CD
Important.
kid.
But yeah, so you guys have extremely interesting stories, which obviously we're going to get more and more into. Just briefly, we are selling our beans on coffeeclubpod.com. Check them out. They taste very good. We got a bag right here if you're watching on the YouTube video. Just want to give us a little plug. If you want to support us, check them out. We appreciate it. And before we get more into like the greatest stuff, we do have to talk about one of our members is racing this weekend.
Ooh,
Well, I guess on Friday, George.
yeah.
George, you wanna
George
hype
is
this?
racing Saturday.
Is it? Oh, is it on Saturday?
Lord George is on Saturday, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is he? He's Boston.
He's going to Boston. Back to Boston.
Back to.
Back to
I
Beantown.
honestly love going to Boston to race, even if it's not even on the track. I feel like it's always just like a good experience. I'm pretty pumped about it.
I'm excited for you. I think it's gonna be a pretty cool race.
Dinner night before, going back to.
Going back to
Go back
you going back to curry and bubble tea.
Oh, I should go Punjab Palace. Punjab Palace.
Yeah, you should go there. Go with Jordan Donnelly because he's gone with you, right?
I'm gonna chat to Donald.
George and
Get a
Jordan
plan.
out in town.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the night before my last road race, I had a Whole Foods hot bar, and we know how that went. So, not gonna do that again.
All you saw was a toilet bowl for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Yet to run on the road.
Yeah, I poisoned you as well. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to race against you, so I made sure
I
that
believe
Whole
that.
Foods hot bar.
What race was that?
That was Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Ave. Oh yeah, George had food poisoning.
George was walking dead for like literally 2 days after that.
That's brutal. That's brutal. But yeah, George is racing the 5K at the. What is it? The BAA 5K? Because Boston Marathon weekend is
Yeah.
the 5K they do, and you got some good competitors. Like who's the other best people in the field?
I feel like at the moment, I feel like Cheers is running really well.
Is Zuhair in it?
Oh, is Zoo here?
Zuhair
Yeah.
Talibi, is it?
He was top, maybe 7 at indoors in the 3K.
Guy's fucking
He's
quick.
freaking good at like every event from
Yeah, he's good.
10K to.
Hashtag heavy
3K.
hitter, Morgan.
Yeah, why not? Hashtag heavy. I mean, if you're like top 8 of world indoors, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
What
Yeah.
country is that guy from?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's a
I think-
Moroccan guy.
He runs
I mean-
for like Oklahoma something.
Oklahoma City, is it? I think it's like I don't know what division it is. Is it
JUCO, I
JUCO?
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
and he's just
amazing.
like amazing.
Yeah,
He
it was a
deserves
crazy
that.
story with like the qualified for the Olympics last year, but couldn't run because he wasn't like in the testing pool for long enough,
Oh yeah.
and they like couldn't get enough tests from him in between him running the time and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Because he's got in time pretty late.
he went. I think he was in Tokyo,
Yeah.
Wait,
and they like
really?
couldn't. Yeah, and I
he
think
was
they
sitting,
couldn't
he
let
was
him
sitting in
race.
the village. You couldn't race.
Oh,
That's
That was a
brutal.
real bummer.
That sucks for him.
Damn.
And then just some normal road compatriots that you expect:
Like
Chalanga,
Oh, the boys.
Lawi.
The boys are back in town. My question
I don't know,
is,
has anyone else looked at
does
it?
George
I
have
don't know
tactics?
what
Yeah, have you got tactics?
Tactics for George?
Have
You're going to give out any little hints for our
Textbook George.
textbook George? Or
Textbook George. I
you hear
think
it
everyone
first.
knows what that
Everyone knows
means.
what that means, so we don't have to explain anymore.
Yeah.
There
I'm
might
excited.
be a little something special on my feed.
There will
Oh.
be, yeah. We'll just tune in if there's a streaming,
Yeah.
or I don't even know if
Or
there's
check
anything.
check Pros of the Gram probably the
Yeah.
next day.
Pros of the Gram are always on it. It's out before you realise.
Yeah. What time is the race at?
Early as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, what time is that?
I think it's
Early
like
as
8,
fuck
I think
is
it's like
usually
8
around.
something Eastern.
Okay, 8 a.m.
So-
Eastern. 8:30. 8:30.
See,
You're
early
like,
as
thank
fuck
you, Joe.
sounds like 6 to 7.
Well,
Yeah.
it's gonna be,
Eight's like
that is. I mean, 6:30
you
all the
change-
time.
But you can change
Yeah.
early as fuck to fucking early at 8
Yeah.
o'clock. And then
Yeah, I think so.
early as fuck is like 6 to 7.
I
Dude, the
agree.
thing I'm worried about though is like, I don't. These days, like when I get out of bed in the morning, I'm like barely walking. Like everything hurts.
You're getting old, mate.
Yeah. What's your running age right now?
not good. Not good at
Too
all.
old. Got to bring that
Like,
back down.
It was bad enough in Serbia. Like, I mean, I didn't shake out either day because just getting up was like, it took me until the race to like.
You had Jason
be able
with
to,
you
like,
too, did Jason?
well, yeah, I
work
had
with
to,
you
like,
constantly?
I was like, yeah, dude, I couldn't shake out this morning. Can you like just do the shakeout for me on the table somehow, so I can physically
With
run?
his legs.
Yeah, just jerked him off.
So that's gonna be interesting.
Just joked him off, yeah.
That's gonna be interesting if I can get my body moving by 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I'll just stay up.
Just don't go to sleep.
Yeah,
No, that always works.
that'd be one way to do
That
it.
always works. Well, yeah, guys, check that out. If there's
Yeah.
if you're up pretty fucking early, and you want to see some textbook George with some interesting things around his ankles, then
Yeah.
yeah, check it out.
Yeah, wish him luck. But that's going to
Good luck,
be huge.
George.
Just like a house arrest brace.
Yeah, we need to tell
That'd
you
be pretty
guys.
sick, actually.
George is
George needs an exposure.
Well, I got a little. Are you allowed to bet? Am I allowed to?
You're definitely not allowed to bet on yourself. I don't even know if we're allowed to.
I don't think we're allowed to bet either. I think associate, like if you're like a
Yeah.
team,
Wait, like on like a real betting thing, or like if I'm just like
Oh,
making a
under the
bet
table.
against someone else?
Oh, betting again? I mean, I think it'd still
like
be
a Louis
illegal.
G bet, like
Yeah,
shaving your
pretty
head.
much.
Has he shaved
But
his
with
head yet?
Ali, because Ali was running.
Oh yeah.
I texted her, I was like, yo, you want to put money on who finishes higher on Saturday?
Oh, he's throwing out the gauntlet this time.
It was pretty messed
Yeah,
up though.
you-
She replied and she goes, you do know you're running the 5K, right?
That's
Wait, what?
cutthroat.
Did you know that
Dude.
you ran 13-12 indoors in December?
Damn, that's a good reply.
Yeah.
Damn, she's feisty. She's feisty.
So
She's getting after it. She's probably, that means she's in good shape. She probably
Wait,
might-
does this
might win
mean
it.
the bet is on?
I think
yeah,
that's
well,
on.
we
The
made a
gauntlet
bet.
was
But
received.
I don't know if it's illegal or not. So
Wait, well, so what's the terms of the bet?
she decided on $10.
Oh,
For-
$10.
Whoever finishes.
I think that's a
higher
very I
price.
think that's a very valid bet.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty valid.
Yeah.
So there's some added excitement.
What you should do is,
So
I
you
would
can
have
watch
betted
women's
her
race
to
too.
shave Luis's head while he's asleep if you were higher placed than her. And she has to do it and film it. And Luis doesn't know because, I mean, unless he listens to this pod, he'll know. But
Yeah.
that'd be hashtag good for the sport.
That'd be a
I'd say
good
so
prank.
myself.
So it's mostly me versus Ali.
Yeah,
Saturday.
good luck.
That's a
Check
good
it
way
out.
to
You're
figure it
gonna like kick, like just out kick her at the end, or
You're gonna
just
sabotage
take her
it.
to a Whole Foods hot bar in Boston. There you go.
Yeah.
It's an easy win for the bet.
Get her nice and sick before it. But yeah, that should be sick, man. I still haven't been to Boston. I'm very jealous you guys get to keep going on racing there. But I think that'll be a very good experience. Hopefully we can watch it.
Yeah,
Actually, early as fuck for us, 6:30 a.m. here, Boulder time. But we'll see what happens.
we're usually up around that time anyway.
Yeah, we get up early these days. But so the biggest news in our sport as of yesterday, or was it the day before that, is Gabriela Stafford just left Bowerman, and we've talked about Bowerman a bunch, and not for a while though, and it was in the context of all the women that were leaving the team, and like there's different reasons for that, and certain things happening with Shelby, and Gabriela Stafford is on fire right now. She's in the shape of her career. She just came, was it fourth at World Indoors in the 3K, fifth at Tokyo in the
50
1500,
the Olympics,
which
yeah.
is just absolutely amazing. So clearly the setup that she's had at Bowerman was working really well for her, but she left, and she actually stated on Instagram the reasons for leaving were related to stuff going, like the ongoing stuff with Shelby, which, you know, it's like a difficult situation because you still are never really going to know if Shelby doped or not, but you do know the actions that she's taken post that happening. So you can kind of like judge those. And that's what we've done on the podcast before, because we pointed out that if someone has a doping ban, like why would you associate with them? Like it just seems like if you're a professional group, Bowerman is. If you want to get all like the terms and all the specific stuff, I would go read an article on it because we don't know those off the top of our head. But Bowerman is like USATF, like certified group or whatever, and they're not meant to associate with dopers. And I think just the whole way it's played out just seems really shitty for the athletes in particular, because it seems like they have not been privy to. They didn't even know that like Shelby was going to be training with them, and I think that's where a lot of the stuff with Gabriella comes in, where she's like. It's been really hard for her to like be around that because she obviously didn't expect it, and she doesn't want to be associated with that. So, she announced that she's leaving, and I mean, I think she's gotten a ton of credit for it because it's freaking ballsy to like leave like what is clearly the best
Setup she's got.
Yeah, it was
in
working
her
amazing,
career.
and obviously anytime if you're like a Nike sponsored athlete, I think you never want to do anything that will create negative press against a Nike group.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like that's a negative thing, but you
Yeah.
have to fight for yourself. And she is clearly she's someone who has been outspoken in the past and clearly, really values like certain things. Not saying that other people in the group don't have values and all that like the same, but because I think they're just all in really tough situations. But she's been the first one to actually come out and,
And it was writing it down too. I mean,
yeah,
the social media post she had, it was interesting to read it because I don't know what that would feel like as an athlete, having a teammate that goes through that situation, then coming back and then realizing that your establishment, your coach is still like, it just feels a bit obnoxious because you're not playing by the rules. Like the rules are you can't train somebody that's been convicted of a doping ban.
Does she
And-
still?
Well, I think there's a lot of gray area, and that's what she's saying. Like, it definitely seems like she was just waiting to see what transpired over the next few months, and she was just assuming it would be like cut and dry. All right, probably never going to see Shelby again. She's going to be doing her own thing. And then a few months later, she's at training camp in Flagstaff
But
with
that's
them.
training. That's training.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And then she's like, well, this is not what I was expecting.
But that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what that would feel like. I just don't I don't know how I would react to that, and like the way she's reacted would be something that I think a lot of athletes would feel on the team as well. And I think it just
I think it made you super uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
to answer your question, Ben, like for those who don't know, from what we know, which I think is pretty clear, like Shelby was, I don't know if she's actually doing workouts with the team. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but she was like getting coached by Jerry, which I don't know if you're even allowed to technically do that,
Yeah.
but she was at the track at the same time as the team, etc.
Real shady stuff.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was aligning with them very well, particularly when in Flagstaff we had heard from sources that she was training with them. She was training in the same area, like she was doing.
She is training.
She had time
with them.
trials. Yeah, pretty much.
Like-
From what I believe, she's training with them.
What's she running the time trials?
She ran
She ran very quick.
4:54 in a time trial.
Wait, for what?
What?
4:54. What,
She had
what
some
distance is
sort
that?
of-
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Where
She ran
did
something.
you pull 4:54?
I don't know. I remember seeing a
I think
stopwatch and it had
she did run a
4:54.
1500 at one point, which was quick.
I think 4 O's.
Yeah, it was quick.
Dang.
She's been clearly she hasn't.
Doping still?
I mean, she's been continuing to train very hard, and
she did say she did a 5K as well.
did she?
Yeah,
Do you know what that was?
She did.
14 something.
Dang.
I think
So-
for like 1450 something.
So amazing.
It's no joke.
Yeah,
I think that was at altitude too, wasn't it?
No, she went down to
She went down.
Phoenix.
I feel like she definitely doesn't like work out with them or anything because she's never in like any of the photos unless Miss Courtney's just like
And that's
sneaky cropping
Courtney
her out.
Courtney's like, oh, I better not take a photo of her. Like, because Courtney
Yeah.
might not even know.
Yeah.
And then she's there and like, oh, I can't take a photo of her with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You
if
don't
she-
know, like,
if
because
she
like
does.
photo, like, people could be running
Picture it
anyway.
didn't happen.
Well, yeah, but it's like weird if like she is training with them, but then they have this whole like online persona where they just like kind of
Disassociate.
like obscure her from
Which
like,
you have to do because
Yeah,
she's
of course they have.
literally
It's like the
a convicted-
responsibility.
Yeah, but I guess
Convicted
that.
but still it's just kind of like weird
Yeah,
and
it's
shady.
just it's a weird situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so what I found really weird based on what Gabriela was because she actually, like, she responded to Let's Run. She was on a few different articles and stuff. Like, she did a good job at giving explanation behind her actions, which I thought was really cool. And it seemed like Jerry and the lawyers were talking, like, they were going over the rules and all that and making sure that they were doing, like, just what they had to do to stay within the lines of, not getting in trouble for it. So, yeah, really spending a lot of time in that gray area, which obviously when you think about that, you think about, like, Oregon Project and just, because there's a lot of stuff in this sport, which is, it's not necessarily legal, but if someone does it and they do it, you're like, well, you fucking suck. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem in the, what's the word? It's just like the sport is, I don't know. If you want to protect like the
integrity.
The integrity, exactly. That's what I'm
Definitely.
looking for. It's because
I think that's how they've responded in interviews too. Like, I've seen something with Shalane where someone just asked her straight up, like, are you coaching Shelby? And she's like, you know what, you should, there are certain rules about coaching her, but you should talk to lawyers. So it's like, okay, obviously you are, but
that's
like,
a yes. That's
but-
a yes in anyone's ear.
it's a
Like,
yes, but
Yeah.
there's some legal
But I'm allowed
terminology
to.
that you should
Yeah,
read.
like they all know that it's like they have no conviction with it. Like they all know it's kind of weird and
yeah, and if you look at it from the outside, it looks terrible, and that's why I say I feel so bad for all the other athletes there, because in a way they're kind of victims because, these guys they've gone to Bowerman and it's one of the most amazing setups in the world, and they sign contracts to be part of the group. It's really hard to even if you feel really uncomfortable to do anything about it.
Especially if you're, like a lower stick on the totem pole.
Exactly.
You're just going to be like, and then bounce out. And
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
And they did bring in like a lot of new people right as like that stuff was starting to unfold too.
Well,
So
Gabbys Sister
Yeah, her sister.
literally joined.
Joined.
And now,
did she
Right.
leave with Gabby?
no.
She didn't leave, but Gabby did say that if she had known that Shelby was going to be associated, that she wouldn't have joined the team. So it's like, oh, that's sad. That's sad. And it's just going to be kind of awkward, probably.
Well, it's hard for her sister as well now because like she's established. Gabby's established,
Yeah.
and for her to move on, like she knows she has some experience behind her. She's gonna have a lot of support from her new setup, I imagine, and she knows how to do things. Whereas her sister's just starting out.
Her sister's way younger, yeah.
And is still learning these things, and now she has to kind of do it on her own without her sister in a
Yeah.
group that now she knows that her sister was struggling with because of the implications of Shelby being around. That's like she's in a really like tough situation as well.
Yeah, those are the people who are the like worst, the
Worst
biggest
off.
the biggest victims, kind of,
Yeah,
because they
because,
have,
like,
they
she
have no
can't-
power.
Yeah,
Really.
and she's locked in. Like she's like unless she leaves, and like I mean I don't know what her situation would be when she leaves. Like she
Yeah.
probably this is my only thing I can do.
Yeah. So, like, because if I'm being completely honest, I know I'm never gonna know if Shelby doped or not. So I'm not gonna say judgment on that. But I'm gonna say all the stuff that she's done since that. It's like, come on, like, can you just like move on or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly, she really really believes that she's innocent, and she wants the whole world to see that she's innocent. But even then, it's like you can. I think Nick Willis tweeted this today. It's like there's a big world outside of running. Like, like
There's a lot of people that don't associate with running. There's a lot of people.
Like the whole running world could like fucking hate you for something. You walk out your door in a city, like no one gives a fuck. Like
no one knows who like. That was the one thing. Like, I feel like she's definitely because even if so it's a 4-year ban, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So say this kid continues on, which I think it probably will because I don't think anybody's going to do anything about it. To be honest, I think it's just going to continue because I think Nike, Bowerman, too powerful.
I think this appeal is coming to an end pretty soon.
Yeah.
it?
So we're about to
We're
find out.
about
I
to
think.
find out. But anyway, to say the appeal doesn't go through and she's still doing it, nothing happens. 4 years are up. She's trained her ass off for 4 years, and she's back. She gets to the line, say meet at Hayward. What do you reckon the crowd response is going to be? Her and a Bowerman singer.
Boo, boo, tomato, tomato.
Like she's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good press for Bowerman
It's
when she goes
interesting.
out.
Well,
Because she's
yeah.
still convicted. Like she loses the
Yeah.
appeal. She's a convicted doper. She comes back, like
But
wearing
look
a
at-
Bowerman
have
kit.
you-
Everyone knows she's been
Have
training
you?
for 4 years.
There's a lot of examples which show the opposite of that.
Yeah.
What was
Gallon.
like when we were at Milrose,
Gallen was
He gets booed. a
He
bit,
got
though.
booed in
Yeah,
London.
People hate him.
He got booed in London. Like I'm not
Yeah.
like any Gallon. I feel like Gallon's was what did he get tested positive for? Wasn't it
Well,
like a
he had like
stimulant
2 or 3. He had a couple of things throughout his career.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a more unclear situation with Christian Coleman, but like we were at Milrose and like everyone, like the whole room just cheered and cheered and cheered, and then he like
Yeah.
won his race and like they
Yeah.
cheered more, and then
But that's even how I feel about Bowerman and the stuff they're doing right now. I think they feel like they can just do whatever the fuck they want, and like some people would judge it, but a lot of people.
hashtag not good for sport.
Yeah, it's
like
right.
it's just not like
A lot of people are just gonna like not really understand the situation and just be like, yeah, go America, go Bowerman.
America's running so
But
fast.
surely,
Yeah.
people, like true fans and people that follow the sport, there must be like if she's convicted
Yeah,
for 4 years,
I
you
agree.
know she trains at Bowerman, she puts in a Bowerman singer the first day she's back, and she wins a race by 10 seconds in 1500. Do you really think like everyone's gonna be cheering on and be like, yeah?
I think a lot of people would.
Free
That's the
show.
crazy
I
thing.
think a lot of people will. Yeah.
See, that to me is a loss. That's like that's a loss.
100%. Well, you said it's hashtag not good for the sport. I think a lot of this comes back to the fact that one of the issues with running is similar to cycling. It has a big cloud of doping stuff, especially as you get higher and higher. I would say this is one of the things that I struggled with. As soon as I got to the pro scene, there's a lot of people who are very jaded, and there's a lot of people who will just call anyone who runs well a doper, and it's so shit. But the fact is, you never know what people are doing. And I'm a pretty optimistic, trusting person. I think most people are clean, but
So this is another avenue for you.
yeah.
What her appeal? She wins her appeal. She comes back. She's probably gonna have like a big like story from that, right? She'd be like a loved.
She'd
treasure.
write a good book about that. Yeah.
Because if she wins the
Countdown.
appeal and she gets clean, like it should be like the biggest. She'd be like
I think
redemption
it's
thing, right?
still tainted, at least in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
if there's always going to be an asterisk next
Always
to
going
it.
to be asterisk.
I think there's an
Interesting.
asterisk related to the doping stuff, but I think I still believe in what I said about I don't like a lot of the stuff that she's done as a convicted doper,
Afterwards.
which whether you're clean, doesn't matter if you're clean or not, in my eyes, which is kind of harsh, but I don't know. You got
It makes sense because you don't know what she was doing behind closed doors, but you do know her actions
Yeah,
afterwards because she's portraying it
yeah. It's
in a way in which, like, okay, the GoFundMe thing, you know, that sucked because, you know, like she probably made a lot of money with
Pay
Nike,
for
and
my
then she's
lawyers.
asking for money
Yeah.
for lawyers where
she
there's,
must
like, a lot of
have
athletes
spent
that don't
so
make
much
a lot of
money on
money.
lawyers. She
Yeah.
must have spent so much
And
money on
it
lawyers.
would have been very expensive, I know, but and then she wins the appeal, then I know that I feel like there'll always be an asterisk as well, but then she looks like the redemption, you know,
Hero.
like the hero.
Yeah.
She's a hero.
It is
American
such a
hero.
different story.
There's two ways it's gonna go.
It's like she
She
never
will be.
gave up
Yeah.
despite
Yeah.
everything.
There's two ways.
That's
There's
what it'll
two
be.
ways it's
That's
gonna
the
go.
working spirit.
She's gonna get denied the appeal.
Yeah,
or
girl
she loses
boss.
the appeal, and then she'll probably have a similar thing to what Gatlin had, or she'll win the appeal, and then she'll be like a different figure in the sport.
Yeah, I think either way she's gonna come back and she's gonna crush whenever she's back. I don't
You
really,
can't get caught for doping twice.
I just know that, like, I didn't really know much about her from like a personality standpoint, but just the way that she's trained and persisted through this, she's got to have like the craziest sense of like need to like run, need to
Yeah.
be the best.
Well, she did miss out on the probably her prime Olympics.
Literally.
Yeah.
She got,
100%.
Yeah.
It was the worst timing possible,
Yeah.
probably.
It was her prime Olympics.
So
well, she'll also probably miss 2024, won't she? Because it'll be
I think the band started in January,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe, because I think that's when she.
And if
actually
she's still
tested
training
positive.
with Bowerman the way she
Yeah.
is, then she'll be fine. 'Cause
Yeah.
She's like, or she won't
Walk
have
right
to
in.
race.
Yeah.
She'll pretty much just race that year.
Yeah.
Run the qualifying steroids.
She
the
will.
trials.
She will miss.
She will miss
Paris,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, she was Paris.
It'll be January 25. She'll be good to go.
Oh, you're right. Cause
Yeah.
4 years, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Olympics was 2021.
Well,
you're
watch
right.
out, 2028. She's
Oh.
coming to Australia. Is that the one in
No,
Australia?
that's LA.
Yeah,
Oh,
Melbourne's
She's
2032.
coming home, baby. She's coming home. Bring it home.
She just looks the exact same. I was like, wait, whatever she's taking, I
They
want it.
just froze her, like froze her body.
She did Nike headquarters in like a cryogenic.
What
They're
if
just
they
like,
had
take
the
me out at
technology?
the next Olympic cycle.
That'd be the way to get around your bans. You just
Dude.
freeze yourself for 4 years. See, that's the thing. I think she would do it, like based on the way she acts. Like
Nike could do it too, probably.
They probably have the resources.
Probably. If not, they could pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
But
not,
it's just yeah, it's something that because like our first podcast was
Episode
it
0.
about?
it was episode 0, episode 1 where we talked about Bowerman girls like after
Leaving.
the news, and then now this has happened 30 episodes later. It's still
Ongoing.
going, still ongoing, and it just seems like there's been no clear cut okay, you know, not
Yeah.
end to it, but
I want
like,
some closure.
resolution.
Yeah, I was about,
There's no closure. There's no resolution. It seems to be like
it's
still
ongoing.
ongoing.
Still ongoing.
as our in-house social media analyst, Ollie Hall, what have you found as the different responses from other girls on the team in response to, if you remember, Shelby's statement, and now in response to Gabby's statement?
Well, it's interesting because I noticed that a lot of the response she got was from non-Bowerman.
Did anyone on Bowerman respond to her?
I'm asking the social media guy. That's what
I feel like
that's what I'm
I
wondering.
feel like they're not allowed to.
I don't think I saw anything. I honestly don't know because when I saw the post, I read it and like took time to take it in because I was like, crap, this is like what we've been talking about, like how
That's
I would
big.
feel, how we would feel in that situation. And then when I read through the comments, it was mostly either fans or people that she competes against or anything like that. I don't remember seeing many Bowerman comments, but also like they could comment later. Like you look at the post now, there could be some comments from Bowerman saying like, you know, tough decision, hope you're doing okay, blah, blah, blah. I know I did check Bowerman's social media because I had to see if they had any response to one of their best athletes leaving. Nothing.
Yeah, what can they say?
I mean, that's
I'm
the
sure
thing,
they
like,
will.
Because they will.
They will have to
their
say
Instagram's
something.
quite-
They will have to say
Yeah,
something.
they'll probably just say something along the lines of like, "We're very saddened that one of us has to leave."
Wish,
It was
Wish
the
you
best
the-
thing
wish
for
you the
her and her
best.
training.
No, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what they're going to say.
What?
They're going to say, we're unfortunate of Gabby's departure. We really loved her as a part of the team and she did so well, blah, blah. And then, however, to her statements, we have followed by the rules to the T.
I don't think they're going to address them.
No, they will address it. They will address
You
it.
think so?
They would have
I think
to
they'll address it, and then they'll return to regularly scheduled.
They would address it in the way
Regularly
in which they're
scheduled
saying that,
Bowerman
like,
First Club.
we are following every like we're following everything necessary to play by the rules, and we're doing the best possible situation we can with what we have. They'll say something like that, which is complete garbage.
Yeah. Well,
they'd not try and
I don't think they'll
admit
say
to it,
that.
but I think they'll say
I
something
think they're
about
just
it.
gonna pretend that like nothing's happening.
That's what I think is gonna
That's what the
happen.
athletes are doing. You know, like a lot
Exactly.
of the athletes are just quiet. Like the first time when it all came out, all the people on the team were like, "No, not Shelby. She would never do such a thing."
Yeah.
But like since then, I feel like everyone's been kind of like radio silent, and like it's
Crazy
just gonna continue.
thing when it all like first happened, people like legitimately like believed Shelby. Like I feel like a lot of, like it was kind of, there was like maybe like a day or two period where people were just like, at least from what I had seen, people like coming out being like, she's innocent, like she didn't do this, and then people were like, wait a second, like someone like Kipchoge gets, and then people like brought race into it, and they're like, someone like Kipchoge does it, but then it's like this like
and
white
then
American
you look
girl.
at her story, it's like, well, she didn't even order a pork burrito. How's that?
Yes,
How'd
the
that
story,
happen?
the story was like made it worse. Like
Yeah.
she ate a Kanye style burrito.
Yeah.
It was
Like it's
what
made
the
it
hell's
like it's like
going
what
on?
are you doing?
Yeah.
Like just at least say like it's better say nothing at
The
that
blatant lies
Say
of
nothing.
burritos was
That's
so
where
it didn't help.
that's where it lost
Very
me because
memeable.
like I feel like I'm similar to Morgan. Like it's like I'm trying to be positive in the sport. Like when people run well, I try and I think like there's nothing shady there. They're doing a good job, and that's what I feel like is a good way to approach it because you don't want to be like,
Otherwise, you're
I'm
just
never going to beat
jaded,
this guy.
yeah.
He's doping. I'm never going to beat him. You don't want to have that attitude because you want to be like, I can do that. I can hopefully get to that level. But when I saw what happened initially, I was like, oh, this is like crazy. Like this is the biggest. This like overshadowed the whole trial.
Yeah.
And then I saw the burrito story, and I was like,
What's
I
going on?
lost me. Like I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Like
Where's Carlos?
One of the things that she brought up as a big thing for her is she wished that Bowerman was more transparent with everything. She felt that Bowerman should have put out a statement saying exactly what was going on in terms of the Shelby training, all that. And I think that would have helped a lot because I really look at this as just another chapter in the arc of the, I don't know what to call it, but kind of the destruction of Bowerman from like a team identity standpoint. At least for us people who are very inside and pay a lot of attention. Again, because Bowerman's big, they got 100K plus followers on Instagram and all that.
almost
Like
200.
yeah, they're huge. But for us, we looked at Bowerman, we looked at Oregon Project, and I think you really like separated them. And now it's like, well, what's going on?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just like it all
what do they
falls
stand
under the
for?
same, like they're under the same Nike tree now.
Yeah, what do they stand
Where
for?
It's just like Oregon Track Club. It's just like maybe they should be dope. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah,
But they,
dude, I knew you were gonna come out slinging. I've like obviously I follow you on Twitter and I've listened to you on podcasts before, man. You don't hold back.
no, I feel like I'm just like I don't know. I'm like very. I wouldn't even say rooted in myself, but like
You got opinions?
I got opinions, yeah, and it's like, well, the thing is too, everyone's like, well, it's like everyone has opinions, like just like if
Just most people don't want to share them.
exactly.
Well,
I think a lot of
they're
people.
scared of people disagreeing.
Yeah,
and that's
people-
like the whole point of having opinions is people will agree or disagree with your
Yeah,
opinion.
and I think a lot of times people as well like don't like they want people to like them, and it's like don't get me wrong, you don't want to be like a complete like dick or like a like where you're saying like really hurtful things and whatnot, because then like it's gonna ruin the rest of your life. But
Yeah.
what are you laughing at?
I didn't laugh at anything. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't
I
laughing.
feel like it was like a thing like you guys thought I was talking about one of you guys. You're just like
We welcome it, honestly.
no, but no, I mean, I found out yesterday you're a big Kanye guy, but it's like the same thing where he says like a lot of stuff and then people like,
Really does.
but he's still able to make his own music career and still be successful because like he's self-reliant in a way.
Yeah.
It did
Well-
change how like people perceive him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
definitely.
I think Kanye has stepped over the line, but I think definitely early stuff. It's like if you stand for something, you're gonna have people that love you and people that hate you. And as a figure, you know, this is like, I don't want to get like even like political, but look at fucking like Donald Trump, right? He has a bunch of people, and this is just like marketing.
He's got some like ride or
101.
dies.
Yeah, he's got people that absolutely love him and people that absolutely hate him. He doesn't give a fuck about the people that hate him. That's why he can say outlandish stuff, because the people that love him, when he says it, they love him even more. The people that hate him, they already hated him.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what he says. Also, like he can say anything, they'll fucking love him.
So yeah,
And people he can say anything as well, and that people will fucking hate him. So
It's
like,
like that meme where he's like saying all dogs are boys, all cats are girls, and then the crowd goes wild.
like literally that's how it is. You know, when you have such a strong platform and you speak so
it's like
strongly.
cult-like followings.
Exactly. So Yeah, but is there
That's
any?
what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
What do we? I don't even know.
Running,
What
I feel like
aiming for.
running like the running community like is very cult like in
It
some
is.
ways.
Oh, 100%.
Dude,
And like,
it is.
100%.
but the thing with Bowerman is, like, this kind of, for me, when I look at them now, they're kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they stand for anymore.
Like, I don't know what. Like, I know what Brooks Bees stand for.
Yeah, like ugly uniform.
High vis.
Super spikes.
But I know what like Brooks have an amazing mid D 800 team, right?
Yeah.
And like I know what
On
those guys are
paper.
like.
Yeah.
And like Danny Mackey, like he's pretty upfront with what he does, how he trains the guys and stuff. And they have an identity. And whereas like, yeah, Bowerman, like
what is it now?
I don't know what it is.
I guess
Yeah.
it's running American records and shit, which is pretty
It's running
cool.
time trials. People, I mean, did you see Carl Merber's tweet the other day?
No.
Because there was that meet at Bermuda.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was like wind was ridiculous, but they didn't
Yeah.
change the direction of the sprints. They kept them into the wind, the headwind. And he literally tweeted, said, if this was a Bowerman meet, it would have been moved already, or something like that. Because there's literally these sprinters just going like this, and the headwind, and like, it was just like, that's what they're known for. They're known for just control,
Yeah.
which is a very similar trait to a lot of Nike groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can control it, whereas like some groups can't do that. They don't have the resources.
I think
It's a good and bad thing, I think.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say like there are good and bad parts because like you know the bad part being you can't control championship races.
No.
Like you kind of have to be ready to go and run like whatever whenever versus like always having things like perfectly manicured for you like with your teammates pacing and all this and it's okay then you get in a super fast 5K with Grant Fisher obviously at the Olympics getting 5th in the 10K like he showed that like he really broke through on the world stage but I'm curious to see how he'll run in that 5K because obviously the 5K I mean fuck, he ran 13 like 26 30 something yeah, just,
These guys are amazing.
dude, yeah, these-
Well, that's the thing. Like him and Mo, like Mo's been in that category for a long time. Like Mo's
Yeah.
a multi-Olympic medalist, whereas now Grant's this young gun coming on the scene, and is just doing incredible things. But like, I mean, Geordie and I were there when we saw that race, and Geordie and I agreed on like a statement that might be a bit, I don't know, not a great statement, but like it wasn't exciting.
no like
It wasn't exciting to watch.
The time trial aspect of it.
It just wasn't
Yeah.
exciting to watch. Like obviously, like it's awesome. What he did was unbelievable. But me and Geordie weren't thrilled. Like it wasn't exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas like a championship race or something where there's like a bit of a, you know, toe-to-toe, me and George. Like some race like that, like people get excited about that. Like that's why championship racing is always going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to lose and so much to win. Whereas a time trial, if you don't hit the time,
oh, well.
do it next time.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
it's
first
different.
or the track race that really like sold me into the sport. I saw Galen Rupp like set the American 10K record at pre-classic. I want to say in 2014, and that was like he was running against like Europeans, like East Africans, like.
Yeah, some of the best in the world.
Well, yeah, and he had to really
Yeah.
go out and like win. Like he, closed with 400 to go and ran 26:44. And obviously, it being in front of the home crowd at Hayward, like was electric. I remember being there, being like, "This many people cheering for like some guy running 26 laps on the track. That's crazy."
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Also, as a Galen Rupp fan, and I know Carter Crispin would feel the same way. It's like it hurts to see that American record get broken in that kind of fashion, where it's like, oh, like it's a time trial. It's not a legit race.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely less fun.
It's less fun
Like-
indeed.
And I feel like it's less fun for them, like, training, too. I mean, I can't, like, obviously speak for them, but, like, how fun is it to just, like, make running that sterile and, like...
Cyril's a good.
I always come back to I think if you're winning, I think it's
Everything's
Yeah.
fun when you're
yeah,
winning.
if
Yeah.
things are
When
going
you're doing number
well.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're going
then
that
you see
fast.
on the flip side with the Bowerman people that leave that when someone stops having success there, you can often see and tell they're not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like tough like that.
The one thing that I'll die on the hill of
Tell
is
us,
that I reckon if Grant,
dude. That's
if Grant ran, say he runs a 10K at Worlds, if he ran a 10K at Worlds and ran faster than 26:33 in a championship race, I reckon that would be more exciting, more meaningful to him than doing that time trial.
For
I
sure.
think that's
Regardless of
a
where
no-brainer.
he plays.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
a
I
pretty
just-
safe hill
what is
to,
it?
hill to die on.
That's a pretty cold take.
But him not winning. Like,
Oh no,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, still,
It's like-
in a
I think it'd be
championship
more
race.
meaningful for him because he's like competing against the best in the world and he like
Yeah.
push like it's all combined. You know what I mean? You're running that type of time in a championship race. I feel like that would be much more meaningful even if you don't win
Yeah,
to them winning a time trial and running that
yeah, I agree.
in front of a home crowd. I still
Yeah.
because he's not from he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan boy.
Yeah,
Canadian
Michigan
though.
boy.
Didn't he
April
April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, that got
Canada, bro.
George.
Did you actually believe it?
I didn't think he was going to run this year, but I was like, if I was American, I'd try to run for Canada too.
Yeah, but like,
None of you know the best.
The way
Maybe not
the
if you're
Americans look after their track athletes, though, like they obviously they do better than a lot of other countries. So
yeah,
I would
100%, 100%. And yeah, we should say when we talk about like Bowerman and stuff, and I think this was implied when I said they're kind of victims. We love the athletes.
Oh yeah.
Like we really love them. We know a lot of them well, and we think they're like awesome people and amazing runners and all that. But it's just more the group, like the things that happen that are more out of their control.
It's the image of the group. It's the way looking at it as for us as competitors and fans more than people that we know, like as I would say, like you could say colleagues. I don't know what you call. But like if you're looking at a different lens, colleague as in
competitors.
Competitors.
Yeah.
Looking at it as competitors, but like if we look through it in a different lens.
Yeah.
It's the image of Bowerman more than the individual.
Yeah.
Or the individuals that we know and love. So.
Yeah. Have you guys tried to work with Bowerman?
When we did the Nike Streak Fly video, we did it's like this new racing like flat. I don't even know how to describe it, but we did it with Newbury Park back in December, and like that was kind of our original plan was to go like because we were the first people to get them besides the athletes, which like we were kind of like we're just like dude why are they giving them to us first like what? And we got like a huge box and came to my house over Christmas break. My mom was just like, so you didn't pay for these? And I'm like, no, Mom. Like they're like sending it for work. She's like, okay. But originally like the plan was to do with Newbury Park, and that's what we ended up doing. But there was a short time frame where they were like, oh, we might not be able to get you the shoes, but like Bowerman already has them. Like just go film with them. And I'm like, dude, like no one's like, first off, they're not gonna want us there filming them. Like they could care less about us.
Jerry does not give a fuck.
Yeah. Second of all, like the people who follow us, like that's not gonna be exciting or fun for them to watch. Like our crowd is like very young.
I think they would like Bowerman.
Yeah, I think the personality, like I don't think there'd be much personality there, like watching. I don't know.
Do you reckon that'll ever change? Do you reckon when people come in, because there's going to be a lot of athletes that come out of college?
Yeah,
well, I think the nature also of like being like a really good 5K, 10K group is like a lot of them are a bit older.
Yeah.
And it does seem like the younger, like fresh out of college athletes are the ones who like want to do like our quirky like little media thing. And like was Sinclair with Bowerman when we did that?
No, she was with.
So I guess she had moved on at that point, but we like did something with Sinclair and like.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That does actually make like because then you got Cooper Teardrop and Old Cocker. I mean, those two guys like have a good presence with the high school community compared to people like. I mean, Grant's always gonna have something like that, but like a lot of the other runners that are a bit older, I'd say like Woody and a lot of those guys probably don't have that.
Woody shows up to a track and people are just like, who's this guy?
Yeah,
probably. There's probably there's probably like obviously some big fans that don't discredit Woody, but it's like. You know,
he doesn't have that community,
right?
Like that support.
Well, he's not interested in it either. I don't think.
No,
I think he knows he has like a smaller fan group. I think they absolutely love him, but he doesn't. I think he's not trying for those young kids, it is something I wanted to ask you guys about. What is your demo?
Definitely, it's like probably like it's been getting a lot more like. Closer to half men and female. Like one point, it was like 90% men.
That's our demo.
Yeah, just the boys. Man. But it's like 65-35 right now. I think
that's like about.
That's pretty good.
Do you know like
we're getting better.
The ages?
Oh, ages. It's like mostly like 18 to 24, and then like 25 to 36.
Oh, the same as us.
Yeah, but
emphasis on 18 to 24. It's
like
mostly like
under
high
18.
I feel like the high school senior is like our big like number one.
And I think
the
reason we. Kind of actively try to engage the high school audience more is because one, like, and I feel like this sounds like hella manipulative if I say this, but like their minds are like way more malleable.
Why would you say that?
Oh no, because like someone who's like 25 years old or 30 years old, they've already decided they don't like track and field. But someone who's like running in track and field and isn't quite sure what they're into yet, like. Case in point, like looking back at myself in high school, like you have some really cool experience where let's say you show up to a group run and you get to run and like chat with some pro runners, like that could totally flip your perspective on things. And also,
I think you did save yourself a bit there, but that did sound hella manipulative.
Super manipulative, bro. Like super manipulative. But that's just me, man. No, and also like track and field statistically is like the most participated sport in like American high schools.
100%.
And it's like okay,
they should be into it.
Yeah, like why is like football or basketball? These sports obviously still very popular and way more established. Like they have so many more fans. Like. Someone like Carlos Villarreal, diehard basketball fan, but it's like, I mean, you guys said he's good, but I mean, he's not gonna make the league. Or like,
hey,
Carl,
You guys don't know that.
dude,
Carl,
if he heard you say that, he'd be pissed.
sorry,
But
don't
let
crush
me
the
give
G
you-
League.
I would even say it's the most hard participated sport in the world.
Little athletics.
Yeah, because look
Yeah.
at like people. I mean, Australians. I bring this up again, but Australians are like die hard into the swimming. But like 20 countries do swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Like 192 countries do track and field. At least one of them does.
Well, if there's this many high schoolers, that means we must, as a sport, we're losing fans as soon as they leave high
100%.
school.
You literally, yeah.
Yeah, usually
Like
they
we're
don't-
losing, like,
Or they're just never fans.
Yeah.
or they're just doing it.
Yeah, they're just-
I mean, that's
look
true.
At yourself. Look at yourself.
What? Like when I was in high school?
Yeah, would you say you were a fan of the sport?
I wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I mean, I wasn't like watching
But we didn't.
it.
We didn't
but-
have any. I like
Yeah, you
personally.
know-
I had no media platforms. I was very into the swimming.
I didn't
but I
have
had no
YouTube.
media platform.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah,
there's
for
not
real.
I like I think it's easy, especially kind of when you're in the same arena as like other creators, to kind of harp on and I mean we're guilty of this all the time, bro. Like harping and like shitting on other people and being like, oh, that sucks, like why would you do that? Like we wouldn't do that. But at the same time, like the more outlets there are, like to your point, like the better it's gonna be, and like the more access there's gonna be for the kids. And maybe New Gen isn't some high school kid's cup of tea, but then they go and some other brand starts up, or they go look at another brand and it's like they love their style and they love the way that they do it. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, like I don't know, I think the sport is, people are so passionate about the sport, it's like kind of the top priority for most people. Obviously you want to make a living and get paid and do cool shit, but
I don't think more is necessarily better. I think you totally can flood it. Like I don't know. I feel like
well,
there's
they
a
have to
lot
be
of
good.
like,
They have to be good.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like very like kind of boring like like news type
Retweet,
coverage.
Podcasts and shit.
Yeah,
podcasts
just like
too.
a bunch
Nobody
of
A
else
lot, a
make
lot
a
of
pod.
podcasts. Like that was.
This is the last one.
No,
one
I saw one of the greatest tweets from Liz Clay
What was
after
it?
she ran this Australian hurdler girl. She went and won the Australian championship, and then she tweeted about it saying, I've been asked on so many podcasts as a reward for winning nationals. Can they just pay me instead? Because like it's true. Like podcast is a big outlet in. I feel like in our sport media wise, there's a lot of
Huge,
podcasts.
huge.
Like,
I know.
I'm sure like when you run well, there's like podcasts.
Chris Chavez,
They definitely-
you're like,
dude,
yo,
they-
pop on the Sidious mag. pod, like-
Podcast is like just all about like the lowest hanging fruit. They'll just like be like, oh, this person just ran well last week. Let's get their let's ask them about their life
That is
story.
very true. And it's a lot of it is like very repetitive.
Yeah.
Let's ask them how they got into running.
Yeah.
They just ask them like through the questions, and that's
Yeah.
what like, and people enjoy that because they get to know that athlete.
Yeah,
But like, there's so many.
but
of
you
them
can do a
now.
lot more
And
than that.
it only goes so far.
Yeah.
I feel like where it's like, oh, cool, like so and so only started running because his brother ran too. Like,
Yeah.
and like,
Fascinating.
yeah, maybe someone can relate to that in some sense, but it's like not to the wider audience. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, there's not much else you can do creative wise.
I think track needs more drama and more beef.
I think
Let's
everyone
start
says that. But
Everyone
we're all
says
just
that.
too,
I
we're
mean-
just too boring and nice.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing
Great
with it
race,
too
bro.
is,
Great race.
So we got that New Gen versus Coffee Club. Come on,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
good.
That was no, but that's like you're like so
Oh,
invested.
yeah.
You're like so invested in
Yeah.
it though.
Coffee Club takes down New Gen. I thought that was. I honestly thought that was.
Chris Chavez's best headline.
I like
That was
it,
good
yeah.
by Chris Chavez,
Good
but
job,
the way
Chris, if
you
you're
guys
listening.
dropped that video of
Bro, isn't some-
Teardrop and Cole Hocker.
Which one? That's like all their videos.
Hey man, we're obviously talking about the Euros one. Because we're talking about Euros. I'm obviously talking about the Euros one.
I was making fun of them, not you.
I know, but like, I'm trying to defend my guests here, saying that, well, obviously talking about the Milrose one. I thought you guys did a great job with that, and they did a great job with that, talking about George. And I don't know, like, that's what you exactly, that's what you need, like.
Well, people,
Yeah.
and also the way we did it, it was actually like we kind of had the idea, but Ray Flynn really helped us put it into motion. Shout out to him, great guy. But he like
Mrs.
My
Flynn.
agent,
too?
yeah.
but he was kind of like talking about a build-up thing, and I think it allowed people to really become invested in their process and seeing them. And we did two of the videos we did out of the 4 build-up ones were like running, and the other 2 were like, one was cooking and the other one was like a thrift shop thing. And to be fair, like looking back, maybe we could have done something a little more entertaining or better, but at the same time, I think it's better than just like a rinse and repeat type thing, because you get to see like them in a different element.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys are like relatively new, like not new, but you guys still have a long, new generation. I mean, it's like you
Hey, better
guys,
than
the
people say
videos are
next-
gonna get better and
Yeah,
better. You guys are gonna keep doing it and keep getting better. And
we
it's
called it next generation. Like he's like title our Zoom like next generation TF. And I'm just
Like, bro, you literally just signed a
I'm
fat
like,
check.
I'm like, hey man, if what they can call us whatever they want.
that's actually hilarious.
What's our demographic before
Mostly like
percentage of like people
mostly
that
like-
like Morgan, that like George, that like me, and that like
I don't
Gus.
think they give you the stats for that on YouTube.
I want to know the demographic between Gus.
It's obviously Gus,
Yeah.
and then we're all tied like 1%.
This is like 96.
Yeah, he does well
He's a
with
clean
every.
sweep.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
carries it. That's why he doesn't need to be on the pod all the time because he's
No.
like, I don't need to do this.
Makes
They're
it-
gonna use me anyway.
Makes it even more special when he does show
Yeah.
up. But yeah, going back to what you guys are saying, I really do like how you guys go about it in a different way. You guys obviously have creative talent. I mean, you've done the video, photo stuff for a long time. Are you a journalism
Matt's an
major?
amazing writer.
Yeah.
So you guys actually have talent. You guys actually have creativity. And in my mind, at the end of the day, it's like you can say all you want. It's just about making actually interesting shit that people watch. Because, you know, what we're up against in terms of if you think about content creation in any sphere, you're up against literally everything else that is out there. And
Like
if you
Mr. Beast.
yeah, we're up against Mr.
I sold
Beast,
this
man.
house for $1.
Yeah, and if you, so it's like that's literally what you're up against. And then if you think about sports specifically, you're up against like
Bleacher Report, all that.
yeah,
type
like
stuff.
think
And-
about
and I
how
feel like
it
so
is.
much of that stuff as well. It's like it's so corporate and branded and like disingenuous. Where
It does get to that point.
which I feel like is obviously natural evolution. When you get to being a big brand, like then there's so many moving parts. It's hard to stay authentic, but yeah, it's definitely like, and Carter Crispin obviously not here, but he does like a ton of stuff on the back end with us. He's good at graphic design, like more marketing, organizing type stuff. But it was hard for me at first to be able to take input on what to do because I just kind of started making the videos and I was like, this is my baby. But then kind of as like, and I didn't even know Matt when we started in the summer. He transferred like, I don't know, came in
Right after.
right after, and then we kind of all just instantly clicked. And then I made a magazine. And he's just like, dude, like, why am I not helping you with this? And I was like,
Bro, this
That's
thing's a
sick.
piece of shit.
you're like, bro, you're like, bro, why'd you let so and so write for this? Their article sucks.
It's
I'm like,
like, oh, not another like
not another
article about
this
some
about an eating
about a
disorder.
terrible
Yeah.
injury that made you want to quit.
Yeah. But kind of
Yeah.
as each time, because I think we're still like such in the infancy, like each time we'll sit down and work together on something, it's like been getting so much easier and like we're kind of figuring out like our creative rhythm and like kind of who can do what. And I'm excited for it because like I also said our ceiling is really, really high. I see kind of new generation being able to be what are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing at you.
give us the
I
vision.
think yourself
Give us
up.
the
Give us the vision,
bro.
Give
New
us the
generation
vision.
is like can be so much more than track and field. There's a new generation for
Real
everything.
estate.
There's a new generation for everything. There could be like
Finance.
Yeah.
just a couple finance bros.
Yeah.
Dude.
I do want to like
Shitcoin?
pivot.
What do you
into-
reckon is the biggest media right now in the sport? The flow track, Let's Run?
Well,
What do you reckon has the most like
what actually
people clicking or people watching or people listening?
it depends how you define and
Yeah.
because like probably World Athletics as a media thing
Yeah.
is probably the biggest, and then Flow Track is
USA
very
TV.
established.
Sterile, yeah.
USA,
Runner
yeah.
space.
Like, these older ones are very big because they have the money to buy the rights to the meets, which
Yeah.
like people. But if you think about, it's hard to compare. But Sidious Mag for what it is really big.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys saw, but their interview with Molly Seidel was, I'm not sure exactly what number it was, but it was like top 20 on like Apple Podcasts in
wow.
the sports section.
That's crazy.
So it's like that's really
I would have
big.
never
He
guessed.
also did I think Chris did a recent interview with Kipchoge. Like he's all dressed up and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like, is that out? I don't think so.
Well, not an interview. They were just on that Oxford thing. They
It was
were-
like for like an NN.
I think it's like for like a
band
different
version.
platform.
Like
Yeah.
that's pretty big though. Like doing
Yeah.
that sort of stuff with that
Definitely.
kind of person or that
No.
individual. Like Kipchoge's like probably at like he's like a bolt, almost like a bolt superseded
Yeah.
the sport a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
Because
like-
he's gonna. You did that
Breaking-
GQ 10,
Yeah.
10 things that.
Yeah,
like,
he's. I mean,
He really is
Yeah,
big
he
in
was
the
on
track and
GQ,
field.
yeah.
I mean, if you're on GQ doing that stuff, you've superseded the sport
yeah.
in track and field. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for like I'd see that'd be the one thing in the vision that'd be sick would be like for example New Gen or someone like you guys would buy the rights to a meet and then you'd have all your like graphic design.
I'm sure you guys
writing,
thought about that.
media,
Coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
It'll
I thought
happen.
Like that would be
Some
a
good
thing
ideas, some bad ideas.
that I could see in the future. I could see that
Yeah.
like 100% in Cali or in
I think
Eugene.
it'd be
in Portland.
something of wanting to almost because I really think at the root of it like and everyone's like, we want to change the sport. But I think like it's really.
Wait, who are you mimicking there?
I don't know. I just think of
Everybody ever?
mimicking everybody.
Just everyone that's ever said that, because
Yeah.
it's been said a lot.
Yeah, and they're
It
just
does
like,
get said
there's
a
we
lot.
need to change the sport, man. Like, the sport sucks. But I think really one of the big keys to doing that is through meets and presentation. And people are like, we need to, like, what if we had a DJ and a dance party? That'd be sick. Like, we can get all these other people to come in.
Beer at the meet.
Yeah, beer at the meet.
Gambling.
Which low-key, beer at the meet, that's the move. But not at Hayward. The Hayward, bro, it's like $11 for a, like, Coors Light. It's a joke.
That's brutal.
It's
Well,
a joke.
My brother just went
Packing the
to
drinks in
just
your
talking
pockets.
about media and stuff, like, because obviously everyone, like, I know Chris has talked about it on Citrus Mag, about like a Netflix series, right? It's like Drive to Survive.
Bro,
Very
okay,
big.
that's like
Yeah, I think that's overdone though.
So
because
no,
I think it's already
this is
too
what-
late for that.
This is
I
what
think
I
it's
get
already
my insight from with Chris though, because the Drive to Survive thing, like Chris has never watched that. My brother went to the Melbourne Grand Prix. He got shit faced. Shout out Chris.
I was so confused that you're talking about Chris Chavez.
Yeah, I thought you were
So
talking
was
about
I.
Yeah,
Your
No, I
brother.
am talking about Chris Chavez with
Is your brother-
Sepco interviewing
Wait, is your brother's
about getting a
name
Netflix
Chris as well?
series like Drive to Survive. Right
Okay.
now, I'm talking about my brother Crispy Hall. His name's Chris as well.
Okay.
He went to Melbourne Grand Prix. He's never watched the Netflix series. There was 460,000 people that went to this meet, F1 meet. It's the biggest sporting event ever in history of Australia. And my brother, I asked him what it was like. Literally, there was like all these different races, and it was all scheduled out in a really good way. They had a lot of alcohol there. They had a lot of advertisement for all the different brands. But they also had little concerts and shit. They had artists. They just had all this access. Like a massive. It's like going to like a festival.
Yeah.
That's what he kind of described it as. Like it was like going to a festival. You could bring in anything you want. You sit there. You watch the cars. They do a great job of like covering everything. There were different
Let's
rounds of
ride.
like, you know, like F2, F3, like that sort of
Wait,
thing.
there's more Fs?
And then there's
Yeah.
and then there's
F1 is like
concerts
D1.
between it, and then
Oh.
after all the ceremony's done, there's a massive night concert as well that's hosted and it's like sponsored by all these different companies,
Yeah.
like stuff like
Yeah,
that. If you
we
had
need
that at a
stuff
meet,
like that.
It's like David Guetta's.
Basically,
headline.
like-
like that doesn't just like you could not be like Chris had no idea about it.
Yeah.
About it, but
And
he
he still had a
knew,
great time.
he knew when he looked at the tickets, like this was what was happening, and he could go with his mates, and like there's people who are going to be genuine fans of the sport. But
What
then
did
you
his ticket
become a
cost
fan.
him?
I didn't. He said it was more expensive to go for the race on Sunday, but for the 3 days it was a lot relatively better for expense.
What does that mean?
As in, like he probably paid like I don't know what he paid for it. Like,
F1 tickets like hundreds of dollars.
yeah,
Yeah.
he paid like a lot
And,
of
like,
he paid like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for it, but like it would have been this like way more expensive to just pay for the race for 1 day, because you can pay for like just the Sunday race.
All right.
And just get entry for that, or you can pay for the whole thing, like practice, qualifying.
I think we're getting a little off.
So what are you
topic right now.
suggesting? Where's
What
this
I'm
going?
suggesting is that like the way that they scheduled it, the way my brother told about scheduling it with like all these different like sponsors and like different like shops and because like that happens at marathons, right? They have all these different brands and do
Yeah.
that stuff. So if you had that access, I know it's obviously the financial thing, but if you had that access on these big meets, you had like music, you had drinking, you had like at a big meet like that, you had a lot of different athletes and different levels. Like Penn does a good job of that sometimes.
Does
Yeah,
it?
Penn Relay
It
sounds
all
like it's
feels-
actually going to be pretty fun this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, like the way he talked about it, I can't obviously portray it as well because you look in your guys' faces like disbelief that I'm talking about it. But
No, I just don't know why you're still. What are you saying? Like, obviously that shit is gonna make a track meet fun.
what I'm saying is hopefully like that could be developed by somebody like New Gen or like a media outlet can
Yeah.
work with people like that
Yeah.
and realize that that's what they need to do. Because I feel like right now it's a generational thing that's going to change. I think the tracks have stayed the same as the way it is because that's
Yeah.
the way it's
It's a
been.
good use of the word generation.
Yeah, seriously.
It's,
a
the
good
same.
shout-out.
It's the same as
Come
it's
on,
always
we
been.
can- yeah,
right?
I could
And
be
that's,
an
as I'm saying, new generation.
generational change.
If they have that vision, could change
Generational
that.
wealth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
Alright,
basically, like,
I'll end that there.
I
You
feel
guys-
like I
you
can
guys
bring
got a
it
lot
back
on
a
your
little.
plate based on that.
Well, I
Yeah.
think to that, like, I know at least part of the vision is like I don't want it to be just a media outlet. Like I want it to do events, like sponsor athletes, like do different stuff. And obviously, money makes the world go round. Like if I had a lot of money, like shit,
Yeah.
I'd be.
Yeah.
If you don't care about taking a bunch of losses like the first few years and you have all this
Yeah.
all this capital, you can.
Yeah, but I think too though, like
What does that mean?
There's no billionaires in track and field, really, is there?
We need to get some. That would help a lot.
Yeah, we
a
should
lot of,
get
a
some.
lot of
Getting
billionaires
anyone
in
else?
F1.
A lot of billionaires in F1, a lot of billionaires in other sports.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if there was like some kid just comes through as a really good runner and his dad's a billionaire. And just
Yeah.
starts
That would help
paying
a lot.
shit.
Yeah.
there's definitely some kids I've met who like are runners and they're like really rich, but they also just like care less about the sport.
Yeah.
When Ineos got into the 159 challenge, they needed to also get into a bunch of other stuff because he's like the richest man in Britain, I think.
Oh, really?
And when they sponsored the Breaking Two,
I guess that would probably cost a lot of money to do that.
yeah.
Didn't they
That
have
would
like
be
an
an
They
investment
sponsor like all the
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah,
top
you need like
yeah,
a big
dollar
financier
sports in the world,
basically.
like sailing, and they sponsor F1.
Yeah.
and they
But that
sponsor-
is a really
Sailing,
good
that's
example.
that's a rich white person.
If I've ever heard one.
they paid sailing, golf,
Yeah.
polo,
Tennis.
tennis.
Yeah.
No, I think that like I don't know. It just,
I think you're right though. I think
it's
what
just
what you're
interesting seeing that type of way that they run that, because I think F1 does a great job with that as a sport. Track and field is just so big.
No, at the end of the day, I think you can look at track and field and be like, it has to be improved in every single way, and it probably should start at the meet level, like at the actual experience of being a fan and going to a track meet. That experience should be way better than it is right now, because I'm into track and field. I fucking hate track meets. I'm just gonna say, like, I think they're so boring.
You really wasn't any better in the past 2 years.
I mean,
COVID.
I haven't gone to one as a fan, I guess, but no.
I would.
What do you think of Milrose? Like, did Milrose?
Milrose was sick.
That Miller
was
is
fun.
cool. Yeah, they do a great
They have to
job
like
there.
pack it into like a short time and like make it really packageable.
That's. I think
Yeah.
that helps a lot is when stuff's back to back to back.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like
You
I'm
want
not.
action.
Yeah, but also I think as well with the meets, like, I mean, I was at Hayward Premiere. Like, it's more fun when it's a better meet when people actually, like, there's good people there and they run fast. Went to this like Hayward season or opener meet, and it was like on a Friday night, and literally we left early to go like watch the flow track stream of the Stanford 10K races.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like,
But it's like,
some
but it,
dinky college meet. It's not like supposed
Yeah.
to be a good meet.
yeah, bro, it's Hayward Premiere.
hey,
Premiere.
hey, you ever
don't
college
use
football
that.
game? They're pretty fun.
They
Yeah,
use
Coach,
it a
dude,
lot.
I'm sure Camp Randall.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I've heard
Camp
some-
Randall was very fun.
Yeah.
They know how to. That's literally just one big party.
Yeah.
It's a massive party. Dude, I wish, like, I want to get to the sport to the point where, you remember in Serbia when they had the riot people out the front of the stadium? I want to get to the sport to the
Yeah.
point where they have to hire riot people.
Well, it's like
to be out
soccer,
front.
soccer in Europe. Like I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get the sport to that point where they have to get the riot
police
team
on
out.
mounted
Yeah.
police on horseback.
Just making
Yeah.
sure everyone's behaving themselves. I want it to be
Yeah.
rowdy.
One of the issues is that you're never going to be able to get rid of those meets that run for 10 hours a day, and you have 25 heats of the men's
This is true.
1500. You're always going to have those meets, and if people always think that's what track meets are like then there's a big issue. You need, because those meets you're going to have
You
to
gotta be
have,
selective with the meets that you like would have
And then,
as
like,
big ones.
Yeah, or
Right?
like broadcast.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're never going to be able to get rid of those ones.
No,
because you have
100%.
to have that many people.
Yeah.
So I guess
running
we
that.
should be talking about like the Diamond League. We should be specifically saying like
What
the
is
pinnacle of
Wanda?
the sport. Wanda is, I think it's this big
It's a
Chinese
financier,
company.
yeah, it's a financier.
It's just a company that.
They
She's
give him
married to Cosmo.
What is?
I
Wanda?
never
That's
see her at the
biggest
meet. She's never there. But like, it's like her name.
She keeps telling me to hit her up, bro, and she just ghosts me.
Yeah, just a bunch of money.
Yeah,
Just
bro, I
a- just
blew
a
a bunch
name.
of money on Wanda, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, it's. I haven't actually talked about this on the podcast. I really think this sport could be so much cooler if it was just one race. Like distance running became its own sport, and it was just one men's race, one women's race, and then everything else around it was like a festival kind of
Yeah,
type
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, totally.
It's like
So-
cross country.
Well, they used
Yeah.
to do that.
You
Like
only
That's
need
why
one of
cross
each.
country's so fun.
Yeah.
in the 80s, they used to have like big events at like Madison Square Garden, like
They
right in the
did.
middle of Manhattan, where it's like people would pile into the stadium to like watch the fastest mile ever run, and they'd like assemble fields of like all the world's fastest milers, and then it'd be like literally just one race.
Yeah. Well,
So
what
cool.
we were talking to someone about this recently, but like how big races like Fifth Ave get.
Yeah.
Why is there not a road mile in like every single big city?
They're
in the
trying to
world?
start it.
Like one single
Really?
road mile
Yeah.
in like the coolest locations.
Crazy.
We talked
in the
about
best
Munich.
cities in the world.
They're trying to
Yeah,
start
in Munich,
World,
we're talking
World
about it.
Athletics. Like Jordan Donnelly, we're talking to him about it when we were in Munich.
I think
And
they were just gonna have.
They just announced it. He tagged me in the post that they're going to start doing. World Athletics is going to start doing like a road 5K World Championships, like in a road mile.
yeah, but that's
World
one
Championships.
race.
That is
No, but
happening.
they're going to do like select races. They're going to go through a
Interesting.
couple of like
Really?
I don't know how many, but they're going to do like multiple races, and then you qualify for the world, like whatever the world.
I feel like
final.
it's like somehow whenever they get their fingers in it, though, it like becomes not fun.
Well, look what they did with the Diamond League 5K. Like, bro,
Yeah, the
you went and
street
watched that.
5K, like the
He
street
went and watched
5K,
it, so
it's
he's
alright.
got the best
It was
viewpoint of
bad.
it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like he went and watched it because I was racing. I didn't go, and Geordie like came. Like I asked him about it, and Geordie's like, they just took like 10 steps back. Like it's just not. I mean, Rambo paced it, and Rambo told me it was just complete horseshit because it's not. You're not like it's just not.
Well, I think it has to come from someone outside the sport to change it.
Yeah, and you got
Kind
people. Yeah, I think the idea like it's nice that they're trying to make an effort, but
Yeah.
it didn't hit the mark.
Well, that's why. So going back to the Seb Coe thing when he said in that interview, I think track should have a drive to survive. It's like, well, no fucking shit, it should have a drive to survive. That
You're the
probably,
president.
that probably
Yeah.
no, but that probably increased. Like you just seen F1 do it
F1's
and increase its value by 1,000%. Dude, if like it should have had a drive to survive, but it would have had to happen 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Because you want to see the rise of Jakob, you want to see the rise of Mondo. Like those athletes, if you had covered them for this
Well,
long,
it's not even necessarily about the athletes themselves. It's about what you're competing against, which is F1. Why would someone be a fan of track now when F1 has already done it?
But yeah, 100%. But also like the athletes that are good now weren't like Jakob. Where Jakob is now, if you could cover that 4 years ago.
It's
Well, you
called,
could
it's
cover-
called Team Ingebrigtsen. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I love
you can cover it to more of a wider audience.
Well, no
With-
doubt.
But it also
no
could have
doubt.
been
Mondo
like,
and
could have
stuff.
like you could have like profiled like Rudisha or like some other
Yeah, the sport is
athletic-
cyclical. There's always going to
Yeah.
be new
Yeah,
stars
for sure.
coming up.
Going back really quick to the Fifth Avenue Mile, crazy fact. I don't know if it was in 1992 or 1998, sometime in the 90s. Donald Trump actually sponsored the race, and it was called the Trump Mile, and him and Ivanka held the tape.
That's epic.
So,
I
like-
got to see a picture of that.
It's
He
cra-
watches it every year. Like his pen has.
Trump's into it?
Yeah.
He wanted to
There's
like
there's
redo the whole.
magazine story about it.
He
That's
wanted to
cool.
like redo the whole course so that it ended at Trump Tower because like the way they have it now is
Big
like
dick
just
move.
up against Central Park, so it's like really easy to orchestrate. But he wanted to like divert the course and like shut down like
turn.
Do you reckon,
serious
do you reckon he watched,
traffic.
do you reckon he watched last year? I got beaten, but anyway.
He was
But
busy,
Second place.
busy not tweeting.
He's like, who's that striking young lad in second place?
Yeah.
He needs a place in my cabinet.
You want to be finance minister?
I guess.
But yeah, no, it's like that's the thing. Like it just we're so far behind.
I think
The
so.
way you've
I think
like,
so.
you've just showed me
Mhm.
that we're so far behind.
I
And
think
we need
it,
to
like,
catch up.
it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have like a documentary series now because it's like
I still think, it's a good idea.
yeah, it's like anytime that like track can like invade mainstream pop culture, it's like a good thing. And I do think that like one-off events is like probably the best way to do that.
And you want to see heartbreak and success. You want to see. You want. I know it sucks
The
because
big
Yeah.
storyline.
you don't want people to have heartbreak, but when you see that,
Oh,
watch
you
it.
need
It's
it.
good
You have
TV.
to.
Yeah.
Have to have that.
Yeah.
We need
When you're, like,
one-off
invested.
events.
It just
with
sucks,
big
but it's good
build-up.
for the sport.
And like
It
a
sucks, but it's
rivalry.
good for the
Yeah,
sport.
a big build-up, a rivalry. Something crazy happens, heartbreak.
Heartbreak,
Something
success.
amazing.
like
Glory.
Leia Fallon, and that's
Yeah.
not like trying to.
No, but it is. Like the documentary
like-
that On did, that docu-series,
Yeah.
that was the best response we got, was that episode, because of Leah's story.
It's
Yeah, and
amazing
because
story.
you follow her, like she was just great. And I mean, being a fan of the sport, like she was this great college runner. Kind of like had some down years. Now she's back. She's fighting to make this Olympic team. Like there's kind of a spot up for grabs. Like she's gonna fill it, and then you're just like, and then there's like the photos like her and Dathan crying. You're just like, it's only human to like feel something.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is like, I don't know.
And
Yeah.
covering that and showing that to like a global audience gives.
Yeah.
Everyone cries.
Yeah. No, I think it's about like making those
Everyone can relate
moments.
to it. Everyone can relate
You
to it.
you make those
I've
moments
tried.
at track meets, and then you package them and you give them out to
Deliver
the
them
world.
out.
Deliver them
Next
to the
day
world.
delivery.
Cash in.
Next day delivery.
Yeah.
We're not cashing out, we're cashing in, baby.
We're not selling out. We're cashing.
Oh no,
in.
we're not selling out, we're
Yeah.
cashing in.
Yeah, quote Nick Harris,
Big
but
Harris, shout out.
but yeah,
Quote.
it's a good quote. But yeah, so you guys are much more on the as it stands at the moment on the packaging side of the sport. You guys are the ones trying to relay what's happening in the sport and make it interesting to the. Well, I guess no. I was gonna say the general public. You're not the general public. You guys have a specific audience you're
Yeah.
going for.
Yeah.
I feel like we do.
But
Like
there
we
are-
have talked about like pivoting to like the general public too. Like think about how sick it would be if like track athletes like became kind of like normal YouTubers where it's like watch me like eat
Dude, I'd like that.
KFC ASMR.
Mukbang. Like we
Or,
want to do like mukbangs
Dude,
on the
all you
channel.
fucking
and,
take.
like-
Okay, I've thought about doing mukbangs with all.
You know what
we wanna
avocado
do.
avocado is?
I don't, but
He's
He's like
he's,
the guy that like hits his car seat. Like,
he's like just like this crazy mukbang guy, and like over like the past like 4 or 5 years, his transformation from like skinny to just like insanely fat and mentally ill, bro. He's a character.
but yeah, there are like
Is he the guy that like eats and then like someone takes a fry from him and he starts crying?
Yeah, probably, bro.
Probably, honestly.
So that
And he
guy
has, like-
and then
he's
memes
very
where he
sensitive.
disappears in the thin air, he's like and he goes like disappears.
Maybe.
He's volatile.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
But I think there are like a lot of like top tier track athletes that like have good personality and are like totally willing to do that and like have good style and are hot and like all these things that you need to like be successful as like a normal like internet personality and
I
like
agree with you.
then you like are following the athlete and then it's like oh they also do track like
Yeah.
maybe I'll watch their race.
I think
well,
that-
there are some examples of that. What's the triple jump girl?
Tara?
Is it long jump? Is she
Tara
long jump or
Davis,
triple
Tara
jump?
Hunter.
Yeah, they're like that's the
Yeah.
same. I mean, they're on Ellen.
Yeah.
True. I feel like people
That's pretty
probably
wild.
watch
That's-
it.
that's so
That's
crazy.
the general public. That's a
Yeah.
good definition of
Yeah.
the general public.
But does it? I don't know if that really impacts the sport. It probably does a little bit.
It impacts them
Uh-huh.
more than it would impact the sport, I'd say.
It's
Yeah.
valid.
And
Because like they're not watching the sport because they're fans of the sport,
they're watching it because
they saw them on Ellen.
yeah.
But
And,
that's
like,
what we all
that's
do.
fine.
We all do that.
No, it is
Yeah.
fine. But what I'm saying is it's more. I'm saying in general ratio, it's probably more impactful to them than the sport. Because I'm like in general,
Well, they're not.
gonna.
Yeah, they're not becoming.
They'll watch the sport, but then
stars.
they'll be like, oh, they're not competing in this one. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get more, like you're saying, you get more people, then
Right.
they see more people in that mainstream area, then they're like, oh yeah, I saw that person as well. I'm going to watch their thing.
Like we had a ton of people that are like do not care about race
then-
results at all, but they do care about like how Cooper and Cole do.
Yeah. And it's
Which is how. Yeah. How.
yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said for you guys and like this podcast and putting your guys selves out there on social media. People just automatically kind of feel more invested in, and obviously it's not. Well, actually, backtracking, one person, there's this decathlete named Jack Flood, the Flood Bowl. It's on TikTok. This guy is like, I found him. I don't want to give away too much for the magazine.
Yeah, this is gonna be on our next magazine. So
But this guy like is massively viral on TikTok. I found him. I thought he was a weightlifter, but he like
Is he the guy that has the Chipotle?
yeah, the
thing?
Chipotle Flood Bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
he
But-
knows that.
You know,
It's not cool.
But
People know about it.
But yeah, he like I was like looking at his thing, and I was like, oh wait, this guy like got 8th at the Olympic trials in the decathlon. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
But he got a shit ton of fans.
Yeah, and they're all like, yeah,
They're like normal people or like people who like fitness.
yeah,
in
or
general.
like nutrition. Yeah, but back to what I was saying, like it takes a lot to put yourself out there, and it's work. Like you guys have to sit
It
down
is
and do this.
work.
I think a lot
It
of
is.
people expect that you can kind of sit down and poop out some product and hand it to the people, and you can, but that product's gonna
certified poop.
Yeah.
I mean, like the thing is, like what you're describing is hopefully something that will move. Like it's not just going to be drills that makes people famous. It's going to be like other stuff, like other
drills.
He's
Like-
referencing some runners like put out TikToks and drills.
Oh, literally.
like just like
It's
doing
so
doing an A
unbearable.
skip or B
Yeah.
skip. Like they post
Oh,
about
yeah.
30 videos of it, and you're like
I
you're
wanna
doing it
shoot myself.
incorrectly.
Yeah.
Even though I know
Yeah.
that, and you have like 400K followers.
Dude,
on Instagram.
there's like Kate Grace's TikTok, bro.
I need to check that out. She's
Bro,
hilarious.
there's a video
Yeah.
on there of her shaking ass, bro.
It's so funny.
No, bro, like
She's
she's
so funny.
like I'm like
She's just
I was,
funny. She is funny.
Yeah, I was like, it was crazy. Like I'd like bro, peep this, and they're just like, was that Kate Grace?
And you just made a bunch of new fans for the sport.
And they're just like, damn, bro, she's no but like some of her shit is like actually mad funny.
She's very funny. She does put herself out there pretty well. But
Yeah, I like.
but
Kate Grace
She's
is
kind of
sick.
sneaky about it.
yeah, definitely sneaky. But yeah, like I said, like it's work, and I think it's the results are like when you do see the results, like it kind of becomes worth it almost with anything. And I think it does loads for you guys, but also OAC. Like this is, I feel so OAC adjacent. Like even though it's your guys'
It
own
is.
thing, like people associate it just like people like kind of associate us with Cooper and Cole or and whatnot.
James West.
James West, bro. When the Stanford video, people are just like, "Who was that other guy with Cooper and Cole?"
His name's on the entry list.
Com games.
Come games coming up, Birmingham.
good impressions. But yeah, it is definitely work, and that's why I really like what you guys do because you guys are actually out there doing it. We are trying our best,
I think we're all just trying. our best
we're
at the end of the
limited
day.
because we're pro runners first, So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
a podcast. I think YouTube videos are way more accessible in terms of like a lot more people will watch them and they're just kind of more entertaining. But for us right now, I still occasionally put out YouTube videos, but in terms of a product that's going to be able to be delivered consistently, which is what you need to be able to do,
Yeah.
this podcast is the best thing for us. And
we
I
have
mean,
fun with it,
we
really.
can, we can attest to already feeling some of the results, if you want to call it that, in terms of the fans that you guys have seen at track meets, the support. It's pretty amazing to see. It definitely works.
No, it definitely does. I mean, like I brought a bunch of coffee club stickers like to Australia, and like I feel like because we do this in the States, I feel like it's more of a States thing. And then I went and I got out. There's like just a bunch of guys that just like love the sport.
So cool.
And they're fans
Yeah,
of ours, and like
That's sick.
gave them out the stickers, and they're all gone, and they're all like putting them on stuff and reposting it, and like that's cool because it means that our content that we enjoy so much doing, and like obviously talking to you guys too, that we get to share it, and then they're enjoying
Yeah,
the
like
content as well.
One thing we think about a lot is like, okay, let's make something we would have thought was like really cool, like when we were younger and went on, and even stuff that we think is really cool now. And there's this one producer, like a music producer named Kenny Beats, who is like does a ton of and one of his things he says he's like you're not good until you're making shit that genuinely excites you. And like I don't know, I feel like there's only been a handful of videos I've made where it's like you're like, oh shit, like this is actually like really really good. And I feel like just always striving to make something that you're like, damn, like you can really be proud of and not be like, oh, I should have done that or I did that but I was lazy. But
Yeah, it definitely takes time. It definitely takes a lot of love and passion for it to do it, and that's why you guys are so cool because you genuinely are
Bro,
like
you're the
excited.
one wearing a like anime sweatshirt. Don't call me
Same.
cool.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got this
sick as
devil
fuck,
shirt on.
man.
Jordy's got his good for the
sport.
sport. What is the definition of good for the what makes something good
What
for
is
the sport?
what is the definition, Ollie?
Whether or not Ollie
the
says it is
the
or not.
definition of good for the sport for me is something that generally moves the sport forward in a positive light. So, for
Good
example,
definition.
Morgan McDonald's YouTube, New Gen, good for the sport.
New gen, good for the sport. Let's go.
You heard
Yeah.
it here.
Whereas like bad for the
Certified.
sport is like, you know, like not taping your mouth shut.
Hashtag
Like there's like stuff like that. Like it's just when you weigh and value things that are, you know.
Yeah,
Videos
not good for
like
the
that-
sport.
like some
Shelby
videos,
Craziness
yeah.
still training with
I don't think
Like-
there's not a definition to it. It's more a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
just-
like
you
you
will.
just-
It's
No,
within.
yeah.
It's like you
Love.
just know.
Yeah, it's like textbook George or heavy hitters with Morgs. Like
You just
Morgan,
know.
Morgan will
Yeah.
know deep down if that's a heavy hitter,
Yeah.
and then you know
You just know whether
when
something's
George
textbook
knows
or not.
when something's textbook. You know, textbook.
Who
Yeah.
coined the term originally?
Good for sport.
Well, so I think Ollie gets the credit, but I think it existed
Oh,
before.
it did.
Yeah, definitely. But I
But-
think you guys definitely
We
added your own flair to
I
it.
think
You
by
kind
just saying hashtag in front of it.
Yeah,
If you just say something
that's
enough
the only
times.
thing that changed. And
Yeah.
then heavy hitters is actually original, wasn't it?
No. That was.
I like that. I like that.
That wasn't me at all. I didn't even
Oh,
mean
yeah.
for it to be like associated with me. It was, I think, for the track meet. What was the name of the 10? For the 10, Sound Running put out a list of the 10K, but then they didn't, because it was a massive field. They just had the list of heavy hitters, and then
Did it actually say heavy hitters?
it literally said heavy hitters. But the only reason I saw it was because someone got mad that they weren't on the list. I think it was Robert Brandt. I think he reposted and was like, I guess I'm not a heavy hitter. I really hope it was him that did that. Otherwise, I'm just flaming him for, for no reason.
Well, that was like when he said that, I was like, oh, that's sick. So then I kept pushing it to Morgan to be like,
Yeah.
Morgan's heavy hitters, and then like textbook George.
Dude, that'd be
Because George, usually when things go like according to plan, George will go, oh, that was textbook.
Well, textbook George came from his kicks. I think that was the
That-
was the original
that-
textbook
That was
Textbook
George.
original,
George
yeah.
thing.
But you would also say like, oh, that was textbook, or this is
I
textbook.
do kind of say that.
Yeah.
I feel
Just
like
in
that's
general
also
about
like
things.
it was like a combination of things. But I mean, yeah, we say some dumb shit.
We just say, we just say words, and sometimes they stick.
Sometimes it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So
Dude, yeah, I think that
Felt
when
that.
you say heavy hitters, it makes me think of like if there was like a TV show like Sports Center, almost like news type of show, and there's a segment it's like Morgan's heavy hitters. It's like it's like a baseball bat swing, and then like it shoots like the
Hey,
graphic
dude,
onto the screen. It's like heavy hitters.
we could definitely do some form of like Instagram type thing where it's like once a week you post like the Morgan's heavy hitter for the week. I don't know. We're
That
trying to
would
think
be
of
good.
ideas to get our Instagram going because our Instagram
Yeah.
game is
Not great.
well, yeah. None of our games are that amazing. I think our podcast does a lot
Love the
improving to do, but yeah, we want to be like New Gen. You guys are pretty good on all platforms.
Gas me up, bro.
I do have another question. When you guys do a meetup, be it California or New York, how many people come to those?
I don't think we've ever had over 100, but usually it's like the low end, maybe like the one we did in Spokane, Washington with Sit and Kick, rival podcast I know. Because Cooper and Cole weren't there, and then Josh made some like backhanded thing. He's like, oh, didn't get invited to go with Cooper and Cole this time, and I was like, bro, like, fuck off. But the
Josh loves to give out a bit of flair. But yeah,
wait, did I say George? I meant
David?
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah,
Josh,
no, you
you
said
said-
you
you did say
said
Josh.
Josh.
Oh, okay. I thought I said George. I was like, didn't want to. Bro, I never said that. No, but that one there was probably like 20 or 30 people there. New York was actually low key probably our biggest.
It was huge.
There was like probably 80 kids there.
That's so cool.
That's sick.
And also Charlie Hunter and Craig Angles. Called them out in the video too, but they bailed. Charlie was like, no, dude, we'll be there. And then he's like, an hour before, then he's like, bro, we're just going to the Armory now. And I was just like,
So I think there were definitely kids that were like, "Where's Craig?"
yeah. But
Which
also,
is fine,
but
but
also at the same time, yeah, it was like
Craig's fan base though I feel like
It's
is
mostly
also
girls.
mostly girls.
Jack Harlow and Craig Angles have the same fan base.
Dude,
like-
isn't it so annoying? Jack Harlow's just like popping up on that TikTok. I don't care, man. I'm not.
The snippet or the lead that
Yeah.
news, yeah, dude.
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Sorry,
that
was
song's
random.
everywhere. No, but they.
Nice little side note.
Yeah.
That's
Who are
so
some of
dumb.
your guys' like favorite creators or like social media people off of like outside of the running world.
Outside of running world,
Like, I like one of my favorite. Very Jack Color edition, but it's a comedian named Drewski.
oh yeah,
I think Drewski is like
he's hilarious.
top tier comedy. Who else, man? I'm trying to think.
There's an Australian guy I love called Sam Cotton, and Sam Cotton does these reels and he draws in like these little like animation things with seagulls, and then this puts little like audio sounds to them.
Hilarious.
There was one where he has this bird on the car and pretends to be a little police officer, and he's like, "Yeah, is this your vehicle, sir? Yeah, I'm gonna shit on this vehicle if you don't move it and give me 4 chippies by the end of the day." And like stuff like that. He does weird
You
shit.
gotta check it out. It's
It's
funny.
yeah, if you like
Sam
kind of
Cotton.
yeah, Sam Cotton. It's really funny. He's like an Australian guy, and he's like drawing. He's very creative as well, I think, the way he draws stuff. But he cracks me up because there's like a lot of Australian humor there too. And
He's funny.
yeah, I thought that was funny. That's one of my favorites outside the sport.
Yeah.
What about you, George?
George isn't really into social media, is he?
No, but my first thought was after
Gordon
these
Ramsay.
guys, the alternative commentary
yeah.
collective.
yeah.
It's like these guys, they're like radio presenters in New Zealand, but they got started mostly like in cricket.
Okay.
They like go to cricket games and like do commentary on their own, and it's like the alternative commentary, and it's
Yeah.
just like
Funny.
This
yeah,
talk
shit,
shit.
they're
Yeah.
just talking
They're
shit.
so- like,
They just
it's
make
like-
fun of them. Like, make
very
fun of
very explicit,
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
very. They're just like making fun of all the players.
like a guy would have a mullet and he goes, "Oh, there's the mullet bowling the ball." Like they say weird, like funny shit.
It's
Like we we're watching
hilarious.
the World Cup when Australia beat New Zealand, and like they were commentating on it, and it's just really funny. Like we're watching
Just
the
really
mornings.
clever.
Are you guys
stuff.
big cricket fans?
Not really.
I was when I was younger, not anymore.
Yeah, in
I used to watch a lot with my
Australia.
dad.
Dude, I downloaded a cricket video game on my Xbox. That shit was so hard to play.
The cricket games are really fun. Did you ever play stick cricket or whatever that one was?
Oh, I did.
I
say
didn't
Sorry,
realize
bring
how
that
many
back.
turns you get. Like you can
What do you
like
mean?
like
Like unlimited turns.
Until they knock over the thing.
yeah, bro, like I thought it was like a 3 outs type of thing. Like you get a lot of turns, and then they're like the games.
Yeah,
Like then I like looked it up, and like the games will go on for like days.
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
like
that's-
Test cricket is like
that's
days.
crazy.
5
bro.
days,
They've got
man.
nothing
Yeah.
better to do.
Like
There's nothing else to do.
Hey, it's Australia's, well, just the Commonwealth's like pastime, man. Just a good way to
Yeah.
pass the time.
And it's
Passing
also
out,
like
yeah.
there's a lot more hitting than baseball. I feel in cricket,
you probably
There is a
A
lot
lot more
more.
hitting.
There's a lot more, yeah.
and there's some heavy hitters as well.
It's
Heavy
pretty
hitters.
exciting. But to answer your question, I go through a lot of different phases. I'm not really
I
into.
feel like you'd be into some neat, like really niche, like
Yeah.
small people.
I know some of the people he's into.
Like who?
Hooli.
Oh yeah, I kind of
Like-
like some prank
Prank
YouTube.
stuff,
Like,
actually.
like
prank YouTube is like
yeah,
there's 2 sides of it. For one, it's like actually like kind of crazy pranks where you're like, whoa, like this is kind of wild, and then other stuff where it's just like so badly faked or like so cringy where
Yeah,
you're just
I
like
hate
it's,
the cringy
it's like
shit.
almost funny to watch.
yeah. No, I like this kid called Hooli and
Who's
what's
the-
his name?
who's the guy
Gideon. Gideon's
Bro,
like,
Gideon
I
is-
mean, he's like.
One of the biggest
There's
YouTubers.
not many people whose YouTube videos I'll watch or like every single video they put out. When I was younger, yeah, I had a lot of people like that.
Who's the Virgin T-shirt guy?
Oh, Danny.
Oh,
Duncan.
Danny Duncan.
Danny
Yeah,
Duncan.
I don't really watch Danny Duncan.
Yeah.
I think I watch some of his videos. He's funny. I go through a lot of
Because
phases.
he knows weeding, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does.
He's
Well,
like
he-
he like
he's
used to
running.
he like used to run in high school.
Yeah.
Funny,
yeah.
Yeah, Weeding was on a video of his. You tell me.
No
he,
about
he was
way.
at one of his shows.
Yeah.
Danny
really
Duncan
funny.
literally flew him out because Danny
Danny
Duncan
Duncan
was
has
a
a
fan.
shit ton of money.
of everybody. Dude, in one video, he pulled up his last bank statement and it was like monthly and it was $600K.
Bro, why would you post that?
Because he doesn't give a fuck. But yeah, the only one I can think of right now is I like a guy called Chris Chan, who's like a skateboard vlogger.
Okay. Cool. Oh, you've like this is more definitely like Cooper and Carter seem to like illegal civ.
I do
That's
like
the-
illegal.
yeah.
Dude, I would think you would be into legal civ just from a standpoint of
I
what
like
he's
that
done.
video and the editing, but I'm
But
also
just,
like
just
You're
what
talking about
the
like
g-
growing a brand?
who?
Like
Oh,
how they
yeah.
kinda
That's
built
what I
a brand
meant.
from like nothing.
That's what I
yeah,
meant.
it's sick.
Yeah.
Like he's like a
What they-
media empire now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with like the whole. I'm like haven't dove that deep into it. Also like seeing like 2 like your close friends like be really really into something. You're just like wanting to be different, and you're just like oh like
pushed you away.
yeah. Well, that's like how I feel with Frank Ocean, man. Like all these guys are like
Carter
How
like,
can
likes
you
him
not
so
like
yeah,
much.
Carter's
Ocean?
like Carter might be the biggest Frank Ocean fan.
You
of all
listening to
time.
Ivy right now? No, definitely not.
And it's like for that like I like it like ruined Frank Ocean for me.
That's a shame.
It
That's
is
a shame because Frank Ocean is fucking amazing.
I like Frank Ocean sometimes. I would get down. I like a little
Dude,
Novocaine.
Tyler the Creator, I think for me is right now like
What
my favorite.
yeah.
I went to this concert.
He's really well-rounded.
The day after he won a Grammy.
Oh really?
I had a guy
Last
ticket.
week.
Carter had a ticket, and he's like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Dude, I mean, normally I would say no, but I was like, you just won a Grammy yesterday. Great show."
Oh, he was amazing at Field Day.
He does
I
a
went
great
to see him at Field
Okay.
Day, and I was with the next girlfriend at the time, and she wanted to leave. Like she wasn't really interested in Tyler. I was like, I have to see him. Like he's like the
Yeah.
headliner because we saw Skepta and shit. Like it was
Yeah.
nuts. That was a great. Like one of the biggest.
Where's
best
Field Day
shows. It was in Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in a big festival area where they usually host everything. But I went and saw Tyler, and literally like the energy was like 0, and we're just waiting around. And then just straight when he came out, 100, just
Yeah,
like,
it's wild.
and it was just 100% for like 2 hours, and I'm like I
Yeah.
thought I thought my soul was battling my body. Like he just doesn't stop. He just comes on just
It's hype phase.
swearing and shit. He's got his like that bowl cut wig.
Yeah,
and he's just
yeah.
doing these dance moves and stuff. I'm like, this guy's insane. But his
Yeah.
music is just so good.
Yeah, see,
Like
he's
I
a-
really like his like the way he's like
Built his progressed. I think.
He's
Yeah,
super
he's-
well rounded
he's
too.
changed
Like,
he's changed his like his art form. Whereas like people still call it hip hop rap, but I think it's just something different. In Tyler.
He's like an artist.
Yeah, it's just different.
I
like,
would say. He
Everything he
started
does
out
is
doing
just-
like skits and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
all the old
And-
Loiter Squad, bro.
Lotus Squad is
Yeah,
funny.
I would
like-
love to make some like.
And
Loiter
and
Squad
their
type
merch,
shit.
like their design stuff. I know
Yeah.
you were really into it. When I was a kid, like they had a pop up shop in Sydney. It was massive.
I would spend so much money on this shit.
They were
It's
massive.
like Odd Future stuff.
Oh, dude,
Odd
I had
Future
Odd
was
Future
so
socks,
big,
I had Odd
yeah.
Future hoodie, I had everything Odd Future because I was obsessed with him.
Yeah,
I was obsessed with him.
I like his music. I think he's like a great, very talented artist. But I'm more interested in like the brand that he's
Yeah.
built.
He's
And,
he's just like one of those guys that
so
So
multifaceted.
cool.
Yeah.
So just likable.
there's just so many different areas you could go into with him. Like,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Well, you should check out Illegal Civ and look at Mikey's stuff because he's a similar. There's a lot of parallels, and he's a guy who started like filming his friends skateboarding, and now he's got actual movies that he made with what's the guy from Dodgeball?
Jonah Hill.
No,
Or
Dodgeball.
whatever.
Vince
I've
Vince
never
Vaughn.
seen. Oh, he made a movie with Vince
bro.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill was
Well,
in
Jonah
Dodgeball.
Hill
Well, they
made
did
the-
mid
he
'90s, so
made the
they worked
original,
in
like-
mid '90s together.
Yeah.
And now they've just brought out a new movie called North Hollywood, the movie, which I want to
Oh,
see.
yeah,
It
yeah,
got
I've seen
kind
it.
of bad
I've
ratings
heard it's
though.
really terrible.
Yeah, it got pretty bad.
Mid 90s is really good though.
Yeah, mid '90s was
Super,
sick.
super good. That's
So-
Jonah Hill, is it not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
he
wrote
produced
that.
it. He produced
yeah,
it.
produced it.
Yeah, so
Wait, what? How is Vince Vaughn like implicated?
he's just like
Oh,
he's one of the actors in the new movie.
He's like a
They- and also they
in
have
North
the
Hollywood.
goofy
Yeah,
actor,
in North
bro.
Hollywood.
You know,
good,
Hollywood.
He's
And-
like the dad or whatever.
Yeah, and they have the girl from iCarly.
oh Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, she's
Miranda
in there.
Cosgrove.
Emrata.
Yeah, so
Emrata.
Emily Ratajkowski was in an episode of iCarly.
was she really?
Yeah.
She was.
Good
Dude,
reference.
I
Put it in
can't-
our mood board.
I think iCarly's made a comeback. I don't know.
I
The
did. I
movie's
was gonna make a
terrible.
new series.
It's so
But are
terrible.
any of you guys on
Have you seen
TikTok?
Yeah,
Not really.
Oh,
A little
okay.
bit.
I was gonna make there's like this sound. She was on a podcast
it's so funny.
and was like, and they're like saying something. She's like, actually, I do cuss a little. And they're like, what's your favorite word? And she's like, probably fuck. And it's like, bro,
That's a good sound.
Yeah,
Wait, did you guys have TikTok for New Gen?
yeah. It's like my personal account is just like the new gen one. So I'll like send like.
We also have like brain dead humor. Like
Yeah.
Ben, like I have so many TikToks that I like am laughing my ass off, but only can send them to Ben because like no one else will like think
just
they're
like
funny.
really like ridiculous niche creators where it's just like how the fuck is this person real, and it's
Yeah.
like crazy, or just like some really like dude stuff I like don't even want to say on the podcast.
I know. I can't even I can't say it.
It's just like like I'll show you just like some ridiculous shit, bro.
Yeah.
So we have like kind of like a vision that we have for like the new gen TikTok, but we never really have.
Like we were
done
going to like we
anything.
want to do like there was like a couple of videos we should have filmed out the long run that like would be funny. Like of you guys doing stuff like there's this. You guys wouldn't really. I'm not gonna explain it on pod, but just because of the implications. But yeah, I think it's funny. Most of the stuff I'll post is just like I don't know, like a little like type Instagram type clip where it's like videos of the races. Like the one I posted recently was like from when Cooper and Cole ran at Stanford, and I was just like fastest like outdoor 5K in the world in 2020, like 13:06. And then it ends up getting like 30,000. I'm just like, bro, like
It makes no sense.
Like it just makes
Yeah.
no sense.
And the one, it's like this stupid one where it's like,
It's like-
let's go for a run with a 350 mile.
and it's like in the automated voice, and it's just like it's like leaving. It's like getting breakfast, bagel,
Muffin.
like all this stuff, and it
Apple
got like
juice.
hundreds of thousands of views.
See, that's TikTok though.
I know,
man.
it's
and it's,
crazy.
it's
Nuts.
definitely the
It's
best way
different,
to
bro. It's
blow
like-
up.
It's probably the biggest form of media right now.
for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure, it's the biggest
Best
one.
way to go
Massive.
viral. We're kind of too old for it though.
I just don't like to. I like real. I watch Instagram reels, and it's just the
That's
exact
the same
same.
It's a
right?
Reed Brown move right there.
Yeah, but I don't have TikTok.
Shout out Rebound.
I just
Shout
don't
out
have,
Reed Brown.
I don't have TikTok, but like Carlos is a big TikTok guy, and he's got some funny shit on TikTok that I watch.
There's amazing creators on there.
They're
Because
awesome.
there's
They're able
like
to do
millions
so
of
much
creators.
with so like
Yeah.
Limited
like just,
time.
yeah.
Because remember when Vine was around?
Yeah, Vine.
And that was like big, and then just went
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Like
R.I.P. And then all the creators transitioned to like YouTube
yeah,
and Twitter.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm also
Yeah.
I'm a big Twitter head.
Really?
Twitter. Thanks for the like on the tweet this morning. By the way. That was an emotional tweet.
Retweeted you.
Oh yeah, you did retweet. Yeah,
I-
Yeah, that's like a big deal.
that is a
I
big
kind of
deal.
hate Twitter.
Yeah.
I go in and occasionally just retweet
Oh,
random shit.
Twitter gets me so angry.
Oh, so you just randomly you did
No, no,
But-
no, I didn't mean it like that. I
That's
didn't mean it
what
like that.
nothing
Twitter gets me so angry, but then I love it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some tweets, I'm just like, oh, like particularly like Twitter coaches and then like other
Dude,
stuff
yeah.
where it's like this is like ridiculous, and then I see other tweets from people that's just fucking amazing tweets that are hilarious. And like this is why I have
Pat
Twitter.
Casey.
Like Pat Casey, man, one of my
Literally.
favorite guys to follow on Twitter.
I can see why you would like Twitter because it's a great playground for your hot takes.
Yeah, bro.
Just to put 'em out
I feel
there.
like tweet that many. I just like tweet stupid shit where people are like, I also like have a habit of like, I usually don't tweet when I'm high because I'm like, it'll be stupid. And like the thoughts in my head sound better. But then I'll like go on like one time I was like tweeting, I was like watching this like Vietnam War documentary. I was home for Christmas break and I like was like just totally, not that I want to say sober, but that makes it sound like I'm a drug addict. But I was just like, I hadn't smoked for like 2 months and I was like watching this Vietnam documentary and I was like tweeting about it. People are like, bro, you're so high right now. I'm like, no,
It
bro,
does sound like you're high.
like this shit is just mad interesting right now. And I'm tweeting about it.
It's valid.
I'm putting my thoughts on the internet.
That's like what Twitter's for, though. And like
Yeah.
sometimes it gets only one like.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay.
No,
Yeah,
well,
you
there's
think
the
this is
hardcore
gonna-
followers.
But you know when you see those sort of tweets on Twitter where they just like this person like, look them up to like 100 followers, but then they tweet something that's like 50,000
Yeah.
retweets and
For
shit.
sick
You
to
always
see.
think that your tweet that you've made or crafted beautifully. It's like this is gonna be the tweet.
The hoe's gonna
This is
love
gonna be,
this one.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be the tweet that will pop off and then just gets
And
like 2
Jabuki
likes.
have the
And you're like,
same
shit.
brain.
Yeah. Twitter's an interesting place. I don't really
Interesting
like
playground,
it.
yeah.
I don't really like. I don't.
Twitter
I-
Spaces are
You don't
weird,
really
bro.
like. You don't even tweet, do you?
No, I just
Yeah.
retweet.
You know what
dumb
Twitter
shit.
Spaces
I
are?
retweet
What's
a lot.
that?
It's like, you know what Clubhouse is, or
Oh,
I guess
yeah,
was?
the app.
It's like that where it's like everyone can talk, but bro, like there's like a where it'd be like bro, like but like
People are like so horny on there.
Bro,
they're
like-
they're for like porn and
like
stuff.
moaning. Well, Twitter's also like completely like uncensored. Like you can post
Yeah, that's
like
like a porn
you
app.
can like
Oh, I didn't
post
know that.
porn on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
But now you do. But they, do with that information what you will. But they people it'll be like moan off, or like it'll be like do your best barks.
Oh, so that's just kind of like my.
It's
That's like my. That's
like-
just like a Discord server.
Yeah. We actually Joe actually just made a new gen Discord.
Yeah, I got a Discord server.
Damn,
They can be
that's
competing servers.
I only ever use Discord for like leaks online.
Like you in the Playboy Cardi leaks Discord or something.
Other leaks.
WikiLeaks.
I'm not. I shouldn't have said this. But yeah, dude. So I would like log on and I would never be able to figure out how to use this. Joe knows what to do. Because I mean I've said this both. Joe was like, fuck, I'll say it. Joe was like, yo, I'm making a Discord, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna keep it like a bug with you. I have no clue how this shit works. I downloaded it for some OnlyFans leaks like before. I don't know how the fuck to work this shit.
It's
Like
like F-list celebrity.
yeah.
Oh Jesus!
And I like
Jesus.
told it to Cooper. I told it to like. I don't know if it was like Cooper or someone else, but I was like, told me, it's like, oh, bro, just go to this website instead. And I was like, wait, bro, what? Like,
Why have we been going through this effort, man? On Discord. Okay, so
dude, Discord's getting dragged right now.
Yeah, I didn't.
Does Bar still have a Discord?
Yeah, everyone has a Discord.
Okay.
Everyone that's a big
Westfly has
media
a Discord.
fan.
Westfly has one?
That's
Yeah.
why I didn't want to make one at first.
Oh,
No,
really?
Discord's actually really fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bit of a, it's just something different for most people, and you have to spend a bunch of time on your computer or your phone to like kind of get into it. But once you're into it, I mean, especially if you're like a video gamer, which we kind of are,
We are, yeah.
you just like live on Discord,
What
and
video
it's
games do you guys play?
Oh, a bit of everything. I'm playing
yeah.
a shit ton of Elden Ring right now, but I
Oh,
play
that's
a
right.
lot
You're a
of
big
Overwatch.
RPG guy.
Big RPG guy, but I play a lot of Overwatch with the boys. Overwatch is still just like
Yeah, we
like,
love Overwatch.
Overwatch is just good to play with, like, because you can like group of 6 and just a lot of people
And just get sweaty.
play it. So.
Dude, we got this video game. It's the Tokyo 2020 Olympics game on Xbox 360 or Xbox One, and you can do track events. You can like run the 100, do long jump, hammer
Is
throw.
it sick?
Bro, it's fucking sick. It's hilarious. Like, the characters are fully customizable, like GTA 5 level,
Nice.
online level customization. My guy has like Joker face paint on with like pink dreads and like a cowboy outfit for when he throws hammer, or like
Yeah.
he's in like a Tron suit for the 4x1.
When
It's
they
like,
run the 100, like, can you like break
bro, my PR is like 8-3. I'm just like sitting there like spamming A.
Yeah, dude, I hate those games where you have to actually put a lot of effort into them. You have to like tap A as
Oh,
fast
it's
as
like
you
a
can.
workout
I hate
itself.
those.
Yeah,
I hate
no, but it's
those.
like we were thinking. I think it'd be fun to stream, but I don't know how to set up like streaming on an Xbox. But it would be I mean,
the
I'm
new
sure
gen stream, man. People would like that.
Yeah, I've like tried to do a YouTube stream one
Yeah.
time, but it was like I didn't have like I don't know. I was just like doing it on the fly.
Imagine streaming just getting like somehow organizing like all these good runners, and then they play that game. They play the 1500, and it's like a race between
Dude,
them all just
Dude,
playing.
I can
control.
imagine that
That would
actually
actually
be
be
so
really fun to
entertaining.
watch.
That's
It's
a
like-
good way to make
It's
content.
like, oh, you don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
They're all talented. They all got like amazing.
But it's a
runners.
video game.
But it's a
yeah.
video game, and then they made their own character look like them.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, and then people can just like
Yeah.
vote or bet on who's gonna win. It's like
So-
Preston, I just see Cooper and Colin Collins.
So this is getting kind of off track, but I like set up my streaming setup. I'll show you guys after. Like I set up a
Bet.
streaming setup downstairs, so we might start doing it.
Have you streamed anything yet?
Nah, too scared.
Wait, because we have like.
But I think we
Streaming
should.
is just such an interesting thing because like
Yeah, we
you
should.
have to, the energy has to be like high.
Yeah, and you really
and
have
you really
to
have
be
to have the
consistent.
personality. And
You have to be high
consistency.
energy, which I've never.
Whereas
I
like for
haven't
me,
been high
like
energy,
I say really dumb shit when I play video games
which
a
is
lot
why
of the
Bro,
time.
people love that though.
Yeah.
What about
We do
you
love
did
that.
video me on the YouTube when
Hey,
I was
but-
playing Halo? Remember you're like,
Yeah.
I was
There's
like,
certain
it's
words you
chicken.
can't say.
Yeah.
It's chicken. It's fried
Goodbye.
chicken.
Goodbye.
Like I think we do well, but I'm also scared because I don't. It's pretty hard.
I think
it's
we'll
not
find.
as easy as
I
it
think we'll
looks.
find a way to do it and package it in a good way.
Yeah.
Is my dream.
What game
You
was
guys need to
wanna
just
play?
I
befriend
don't
like
know.
a 20-year-old girl that's like really hot and skinny
Pokemon,
and has
yeah.
like severe vocal fry.
Yeah, that is how you do it, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
And
how
they're
you do
just like, and then they have their,
They dress up as anime characters and play video
Yeah,
games.
and then they have like their
Or,
tip
like a
board behind
choker.
them, and like they like just like Morgan McDonald tip $5. Thank you, Morgan. I'm like, yes.
Dude, those people are crushed.
Those people are broke.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah, dude. People
Good for them. It's good hustle.
It is a good hustle, man.
It's
Yeah,
good
there's.
hustle.
Yeah, it's people spend a lot of money on stupid shit.
I'm coming to realize that, and I do get it though. I'm like,
I get it too.
I get it.
It's
Like,
a little like release a little serotonin.
exactly. That's what it's
You know,
all about.
maybe you want to hear some hot Japanese streamer say your name in Japanese, you know, and write your name on her whiteboard in the back.
You've definitely done that before,
Dude,
haven't you?
Bro, I definitely didn't pay $200 for that, bro. Like, quit
I
playing.
like the whiteboard ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people
Yeah,
like,
you
I saw
like
some
that
shit
stuff.
on Twitter about that, and people got really pissed off. They were like, because some guy's like, this fucking bitch, I like paid her like X amount to like write my name. She didn't even write my name on the whiteboard. And people are just like, bro, get some pussy or something.
Valid. All right. Well, we've devolved into. I don't even know what we're talking
On a
about
downward
anymore.
spiral.
But
yeah,
I
good
think
Instagram account.
I think we've talked about everything today. Is there anything else that we should talk about with the boys, or it's been a
We
very
covered a lot, honestly.
very
entertaining,
illuminating
yeah.
talk.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
been great.
Really enjoyed. I knew it was going to be good, and it delivered
it did.
Yeah.
for me personally. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah,
being here.
pleasure having
Thank you guys
on.
for having us on.
Yeah, it's been
I
great
definitely,
talking
I
to you
like,
guys.
was like, Logan, I was like, damn, bro, I wonder if they're going to ask us to come on the podcast. I was like, bro, they let Fog Dog and Bastion on, like,
The
like
boys.
damn, and then you asked, and I was just like, yeah, but I was like, I wasn't going to, like, say anything, but
You played it pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
I was like, we'll be there.
yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Everyone, go. I'm sure everyone that listens to us have heard of New Gen. Go check them out if you haven't. Thanks to everyone for listening. This is episode 30.
Episode 30.
Little tap on the back for us.
Yeah.
30 episodes, 30
Yeah,
weeks
top
straight.
off.
So-
Dang, that's
30 weeks
that's
straight,
impressive.
and honestly,
It's over half a year.
still having fun. I personally,
Still
a
loving
lot of fun.
it. Still loving it.
It's good to be
but,
back as well, like just doing it on the table.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So much nicer.
Yeah.
So, but that's it from us. Thank you for watching. See you next time.